Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Aviana, this is Aviana's Ascension, and today we are going to do 2026 theme predictions for all signs. So this is going to be time stamped below in the comments, so you can jump ahead to your sign and make sure you check out all your placements, major placements, sun, moon, rising, Venus, if it feels right. But yeah, so we're going to see what major themes are coming your way, and I'm going to clarify the energy with some tarot to see what exactly, like maybe what area in the life or how it's going to impact you and just what events are going to follow through for you for next year. Okay, so thank you guys for watching. I hope you've had a good 2025. I know there's been a lot going on socially, um, you know, but we can't control what goes on in the external. So I hope that 2025 has shown you the importance of grounding yourself, going within, allowing moments of silence, and just rejuvenation. I think those are important things to learn, and even though we may have had to learn them in difficult ways, we're going to learn them. So let's get into it. Okay, we're going to start with Aries. So Aries, we're going to see what your major theme is and any guidance, details Spirit has for us. Okay, so let's get it. Overall theme for Aries, for the collective sign of Aries for 2026. Please and thank you. Okay. All right. We have pride. I love myself and I see myself in everyone. Okay, so I like this. So this can be, you're definitely going to have to work on, ego and things like that in 2026. This can come up in many different ways, right? But your challenge for 2026 is allowing not your emotions, not your desires to be the motivation, but to understand that everyone has their own way of doing things and we are all one. Even though you may not do things a certain way, your dislike in someone else's approach just shows you the parts of you that you may not be fully embracing. You know? I like that. Yeah. This is about unity. This is about empathy, compassion, understanding, acceptance for everyone and everything. And just letting everyone live life how they want to live it. You know, what you may do, someone else may not do. And we can all respect that in one another. All right. Okay. So let's see what's going on. Okay. So tell us more about pride for Aries for 2026. Okay. We have the Knight of Swords. Yeah, I feel like with the Knight of Swords here, it's like you may know very much so like what works for you, what lights you up, what's in alignment for you. But understand that that doesn't mean it's what works for everybody else. And that also may mean that people may try to give you guidance and advice that you may not be wanting to receive because you're so like headstrong in what it is that you're wanting to do and how you're wanting to do it. It's good to know what you're about, but don't be so like attached to it. You know what I mean? Like allow yourself to receive guidance, allow yourself to make adjustments that you need to. And know that not everyone is going to move how you move. Yeah, King of Cups. Yeah, there's definitely going to be a lot of emotional regulation in 2026. This is going to be about, not not letting your emotions get the best of you, not letting someone else's choices and decisions get the best of you either. You're really going to learn how to sit with your emotions rather than just react and respond to them. Like, you see how different the energy is in these two cards? Like, one is very ready to go, moving quickly, very ambitious, not slowing down for anything. And the other one, there is a quiet power to him, but he's not forcing, he's not being aggressive or abrasive or anything like that. And I think that your big theme for 2026 is learning how to maintain that authenticity, maintain that motivation without maybe bulldozing, you know? Like, not everyone has to do it your way. Not everyone has to agree with you, and you don't have to agree with everyone else. So it's about kind of honoring that truth, not only for yourself, but for others too. Staying in control of your emotions and not letting yourself just react or respond or give unsolicited advice. You know, because if the shoe were on the other foot, I don't know how receptive you would be. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's just about bringing some balance into that energy. Okay. Page of Pentacles. Okay, so there could be some sort of new opportunity here, maybe moving, maybe starting a new job, or getting maybe a promotion, something like that. What's cool, it's interesting, there's people, a lot of people, people are going to be trying you. Not in like antagonizing you or something, but it's more so that there's going to be a lot of different people that show you different parts of yourself that you may not be the most comfortable with acknowledging. But it's through those interactions that you're going to be able to grow the most. And that's a gift. But with the Page of Pentacles, this is a situation where you're not as experienced or as comfortable, but you're excited and you're ready to learn more. So I think that there's going to be a part of you that might reject certain things because no one wants to feel like the new kid on the block or like they don't know what they're doing or anything like that. So I think that could be what triggers this pride and this energy. And instead of like going full force and be like, no, I know what to do, accept the fact that you may not know everything, that you may not be as experienced as someone else. That's okay. And instead of having a visceral reaction to it, sit with that energy, you know? Sit with the part of you that doesn't want to be wrong, that doesn't want to be told what to do, and see what you can do to that part of you to soothe it, ease it, and recognize that, you know, making a mistake or being in a learning or growing phase is something that's very beautiful. Because how else are you supposed to learn? If you're always in the room where you're the smartest, you're the most experienced, you're the strongest, then are you really challenging yourself? No. So it's okay to be challenged and it's okay to not have all the answers. And instead of having an egoic response to that, have appreciation for it. All right. Okay, we have the Queen of Wands, the Seven of Pentacles, the Empress. Okay. Yeah, this next year is going to require a lot of patience from you. Okay, with the Seven of Pentacles. This is you planting seeds and waiting for them to grow, being patient. And while you're waiting for things to grow, pouring love and gratitude and appreciation into them rather than feeling like this needs to hurry up or judging how long something takes. Because if we look, we have the Empress, the Queen of Wands. Again, a lot of people here. But with the Empress and the Queen of Wands, these are energies of someone who has really done a lot of growing and a lot of reflecting, and someone who knows their worth, someone who knows how to attract what it is that they desire rather than having to move from force or control. I think that 2026 is going to be a year where you're really having to be patient and you're really having to sit with your emotions. But there's going to be a very beautiful result that comes from that. And it's an energy of being able to be patient, moving with trust, leaning into your intuition, and knowing how to work with your shadow parts, the part of you that doesn't want to be told what to do, that doesn't want to be wrong. Working with those parts of you rather than letting them just take control and having you respond in a way that isn't of your highest character, you know? So there's going to be a lot of beautiful growth here for you, and I'm excited to see how that unfolds, okay? Let's see more about the Page of Pentacles, Knight of Swords, clarify a little bit, see if there's any other details there. Yeah, again, the Page of Swords. So, yeah, this is a situation where you're going to have to be used to not being like the number one person. You are showing up to a situation as a novice, not as experienced, and that's okay. Okay. Tell me more about the King of Cups. Yeah, with the King of Cups, with the, I just flung the whole deck over. That's okay. What does that mean? Okay. So what I just did, I like kind of smeared the deck across the desk. And instead of like beating myself up about it or being mad at my cards or whatever, I just said, oops, and then I fixed him. So that's something that you're going to need to do when things don't go the way you expect, or when you make a mistake or something. Instead of being hard on yourself or the situation or the people involved, just say oops and move on. Okay? With the 8 of Swords, the 9 of Wands, yeah, you're really going to have to stay in control of your emotions. Don't project them onto others and be aggressive or, be guarded. And also don't torture yourself with them by overthinking and, what is it? Wallowing in anxiety. Okay. This is a situation where you're going to have to sit with these feelings, not give your power away to them, but sit with them, because you're learning a lot. You're learning a lot here. And the fact that there are pages here, this may even be like a situation where maybe it's not like overall something new, but how you are responding to your emotions and sitting with them, that could be the new thing, Okay, let's see about the 7 of Pentacles. Okay. We have the 3 of Wands, the 6 of Swords. I love it. I love it. Yeah. So you're learning a lot next year, and this is exactly what you need to be open to new ways of thinking, to new horizons. And this is a situation where you are very much out of your comfort zone, having to be patient, having to trust, having to not have such reactions is going to be very, very different for you. And that's beautiful. So know that this is something that is going to be challenging, but it's exactly what you need to continue on your journey and keep focused and keep growing and not be stagnant in a comfort zone. You know what I mean? I like this. Okay, the Empress and the Queen of Wands. Let's see. There's a lot coming out here, so that's cool. All right, 9 of Pentacles, Ace of Wands, King of Wands, the 6 of Pentacles. Yeah, I like it. I feel like there's going to be a lot of balance in the masculine and feminine energy. And Aries, this is you. This is your cards. The wands are you. And you have the Ace of Wands. So yeah, this is a whole new beginning where it's like you know when to pull from what. You know the approach you need to take. And sometimes you're going to be the situation where you have all the answers, or you have all the resources, or there's going to be moments where you have to ask for help. But that's going to be okay, Whenever you're moving from like a toxic masculinity or toxic femininity, it's like with the feminine energy, it's like you become manipulative and you want someone to save you. And with the masculine, it's like you become aggressive and controlling. And you don't want to have either or. You want to keep that in balance. And I think that's what's happening for you next year. And with the Ace of Wands, 9 of Pentacles, like you're feeling on top of the world. I know that's right. I love it. This is you feeling like, you're ready to start a new day. You can depend on yourself. You're excited to learn and grow, and you feel secure. That's the big thing here. It's not about having all the answers to feel secure, because you don't know everything. No one does. That's not real. Even Neil deGrasse Tyson, or whatever that man's name is, he doesn't know everything. He may know a lot about physics and stuff, but that doesn't mean he knows a lot about fashion, So it's in being secure in who you are and your worth that's going to help you be open to new experiences, to not knowing everything. And that's a very beautiful gift. So I'm excited for your year ahead, Aries. It's looking very, very beautiful. Yeah, like I see you leaving behind fear and doubt and feeling insecure. And you're making the decision to really believe in yourself, trust in yourself, and give yourself the chance to grow. Give yourself the chance to not know everything. That's really cool. All right, we're going to move on. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to check out your other placements. Book that $26 reading if you would like a personal reading. And, check out anything else I got going on in the description box below. There's all sorts of services, newsletters, things like that you can sign up for, all on my website. So check it out. Okay, Taurus. Thank you guys for joining me. So happy to have you here. We're going to see what your overall theme for 2026 is. And don't forget to check out your other placements and go down to the description box below to my website if you want to book your own personal prediction reading or anything else I got going on. All right. So let's get a message for Taurus, please, Spirit, for their overall theme for 2026. Please and thank you. Okay. We have relationships. I'm attracted to those people who serve my higher good. I like it. So this is much more than romantic relationships, of course. This could be family, friends, coworkers, romantic as well. But I feel like you're going to be taking a deeper look at the people you're giving your time and energy to. Are these people that lift you up? Are these people that are in alignment with your morals, your values, and the trajectory you want your life going in, you know? I like this because it's also an energy of companionship and putting yourself out there, whether it's platonically or romantically. Maybe spending more time with loved ones, with friends, maybe even traveling with some of them. Deepening the connections that deepen you. I like that. Okay. All right, let's get some clarity on this message for Taurus, please and thank you. More about relationships for Taurus, please and thank you, Spirit. All right, let's see what we got. Relationships. Okay, we have the King of Pentacles and the Five of Pentacles. Okay, so this is your card, Taurus. So there could be situations where maybe you're having to abandon some people or people are feeling abandoned by you. Okay, this is someone, the King of Pentacles is someone who's very secure, very stable, a provider, a protector. So I feel like there could have been people that, you know, may have been used to your generosity or used to how you've been supporting them and being there for them. And I feel like in 2026, you're really going to reflect on that and decide like, okay, if I'm giving all this to someone, what are they giving to me? And that's not selfish. That's not wrong, right? Like you can't always compromise yourself for someone else. That's not, to me, that's not a true relationship. That's just enabling. You know what I mean? So it's looking like we're having to reflect here. All right. Eight of Swords. Okay, yeah. You're very much overthinking in 2026, maybe. I think that there's just going to be some connections where it's like, you know, the time is up on it. It's time for you to walk away. It's time for you to focus on yourself. Especially like this is a major imbalance. If this is you, who's that? You know? And of course you want to help people when they're down and out and things like that, but it feels like a major imbalance in power, in resources, in energy. And of course we always want to support people, but like people have to support themselves first and foremost. But you're overthinking it because you're generous. Yeah. Nine of Pentacles. See, the thing is, like, you've put in a lot of work to get where you're at. And you didn't get here just so you could be taking care of other people. I mean, of course, if you have kids, you know, maybe elderly parents or grandparents, that can be different. But it feels like you feel bad about your success and you wanted to provide that guidance and that support for other people, but you're doing it for the wrong people. Okay. Yeah, two of Swords, Six of Swords. Yeah, it's going to be time for you to protect your energy and move on from something. With the Two of Swords here, you could be feeling very guarded or blocked or like you don't know how to move forward from this situation. But that's why I feel like I like the saying on here. I'm attracted to those people who serve my higher good. If you don't feel that from someone, it's okay to take a step back. If a relationship does not serve you, it's okay to reflect and say, what am I missing here? Where am I over compromising? What do I need? Give yourself the opportunity to reflect on that, and then you can make a decision. Because one thing about you, Taurus, you are very loyal. You know, kind of like once you're somewhere, you're like, well, where am I going to go? You know, like I'm not going to just abandon this person or whatever the case may be. But You're abandoning yourself in that process. So that's why that reflection and those moments of inquiry are important, because you don't want to do that. Okay, let's see a little bit more. Tell me more about the King of Pentacles, Five of Pentacles. See, yeah, Ace of Pentacles, Seven of Swords. There's someone that's using you. There's someone that's using you. Someone that, you know, they see who they've attached themselves to. You could be someone who's very stable, grounded, very secure, abundant, financially, like, taken care of, you know, like you are doing good. And I feel like someone who doesn't know how to motivate themselves is attached to you and your abundance. And it's not impacting your abundance, but you probably could be way more abundant if you just kind of, you need to set some boundaries with somebody. Don't feel bad about setting boundaries, because anyone that benefits from you not having them is not someone you need to have in your life. And if this is someone who truly loves you, supports you, wants the best for you, they're not going to be mad about you setting a boundary, period. Let's see about this Eight of Swords. Why are you nervous? Okay, the Chariot. Okay, the Chariot, the Ten of Swords, the Fool. I mean, you're very nervous about cutting this person off, about, you know, setting these boundaries. But again, if you don't set them, you're the one that's getting stabbed in the back over and over and over, you know? With the Chariot and the Fool, I like this. This is letting you know that if you take that forward movement, everything's going to be okay, you know? You're going to feel lighter. You're going to feel more confident. You're going to feel clear-headed to move forward in the direction of your dreams, your goals, and the actual life that you want to live. There's not going to be something bad that happens to you. Some of you might have this false sense of like, well, I need this person. You know, like say it's someone you live with and they pay half the bills, whatever. And you're like, well, if I don't have this person around, then who's going to pay half these bills? You make enough money. You know what I mean? Or, you know, wait until that lease is up and then start making some moves, or like shortly before it's up, right? It's like through you giving to this person so much, you kind of forgot your power. No, we're not doing that here. All right, let's see about this Nine of Pentacles. Okay, with the Nine of Pentacles, we have the Seven of Pentacles, Eight of Pentacles, King of Wands. Okay. Very cool. Yeah, it feels like you're going to free yourself from this energy, and it's going to help you have more time, more space to invest in the things that actually matter to you, rather than trying to cover up for this person or supply for this person, whatever that situation is. You're going to start pouring into yourself, which is what it's about. Only whenever you have an overabundance or an overflow can you start providing for others. You know what I mean? You're getting back into your power here. You're getting focused again. Very good. And it is going to be the result of something that was disappointing and hurtful, but you're going to receive a lot of success because you were able to rip the Band-Aid off. All right, let's see about the Two of Swords, Six of Swords. Okay. Gorgeous. All right, we have the Six of Pentacles, the Queen of Cups. Yeah, this person knows how generous you are and how big of a heart you have. And I feel like this person is using that to their advantage, okay? Of course, there's a lot of love here. Of course, you want this person to, you know, be successful and live their best life. But do you want it more than they do? That's what I would reflect on. If you want it more than they do, then you need to take a step back, for real. Because why are you investing more than they are? Why are you coming up with plans more than they are? Why does it make you more nervous than them for them to not be successful? We have Temperance. We have the Three of Swords. So yeah, I definitely see an ending happening here, some sort of breakup or separation, moving out, whatever the case may be, cutting off the supply. What's cool is with Temperance here, this feels like, even though it's going to be uncomfortable, it feels like it's going to be very peaceful, very calm. Okay. And after a while, like, everyone's going to understand why this had to happen and find growth from it. I mean, we have the Four of Swords here too. So it's like there is going to be healing from this. It may take some time, but everyone's going to be able to move on from it. And with the Empress, I know that's right. This is your card, Taurus. You're going to be feeling your oats. You're feeling your oats for sure. You know, you're going to be doing good. You're going to feel very abundant, very like connected to earth. Like, I feel like you're going to feel very unstoppable. It's like whenever you break up with someone that's like a loser, you know, you're like, oh, even though it took me a while, I feel good, you know? And of course, it's not to say that that pain is not going to be there and you're not going to be sad. Like, of course you are, because you're not a psychopath, right? But after some time, you're going to be like, huh, why was I holding on to that? Free yourself, Taurus. All right, that is your reading. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, all that good stuff. And I will see you guys next time. Okay. Okay, Gemini, we are back taking care of you today. Let's see, what is the major theme for you for 2026, okay? And again, if you would like to book a personal reading for your 2026 prediction, go down to my description box to the website. My website is there, and you can book that from there, along with any other service that I offer. All right, let's get a theme for Gemini for 2026. Please and thank you. Oh, you got two. That's exciting. Oh, okay. Let's talk about it. We have guilt. I release any beliefs that no longer assist in my soul's growth. Okay. And we have fear. I realize that I am testing my resolve to live in the energy of love. Okay, so 2026 might be challenging. It might be challenging, but it's going to be beautiful, because fear and guilt, these are things that can definitely motivate us, but it's not, it's, what's the word? I don't want to say substantial, but it's something like that. Sustainable. It's not sustainable. Okay. Whenever you let fear and guilt motivate you, it's like you're always in fight or flight mode, or you're always having to like run from something in order to get where you want to be. And that can work, of course, but it's so draining and it's so exhausting. So I feel like there's going to be some situations that maybe challenge this and get you to see, you know, like, you don't have to continue on a path that does not work for you. You know, like, this fear and this guilt can stem from childhood. It can stem from societal beliefs and things like that. So I feel this year is challenging you to let that go. And instead of moving in fear, move in love. Instead of moving in guilt, go towards the things that do make you feel good and that do like actually motivate you, rather than, you know, like shame and fear and all that. See, and I saw the Tower, the Devil. Yeah. There's a lot of shadow work that's going to be coming your way, Gemini. So let's get into it. Let's see. Okay, we have the Knight of Wands. So, okay, it feels like there's going to be something you're passionate about, but maybe fear or guilt makes you maybe second guess it. This could also be maybe you're being impulsive. Okay, we have the Five of Cups. There's some sort of disappointment. Yeah. Okay. Maybe you go after something and then maybe it doesn't end how you expect. And then there's that disappointment. We also have the Queen of Cups here. Let's see what else is there. Seven of Cups. Okay. All right. See, there's the World card. So yeah, this whole fear, guilt, motivation thing is coming full circle, coming to completion in 2026, which is great. Okay. let's talk about it. Okay, the Knight of Wands. Again, this could either be you being impulsive about something or you maybe hesitating about something you're passionate about. With the Five of Cups, some sort of disappointment is coming to fruition here. But I think with the Queen of Cups, Seven of Cups, that's in order to get you to really take a deeper look at what actually brings you fulfillment, what actually makes you happy. Because maybe with this Knight of Wands, maybe there's some sort of fear or guilt or something surrounding this, which is why it didn't work out. Because when those things are motivating you, it's only a matter of time, really, before it's like you get burnt out or you get over it, or, you know, you attract what you put out. So if you're letting guilt and fear motivate you, then that's going to keep coming your way. But it's good because it promotes you to really reflect on some things here. And then you have the Nine of Pentacles, Six of Wands, and Justice. So it looks like, you know, through some sort of setback, you reflect, and then you actually get what it is that you want. There's some sort of victory. There's some sort of like success that's happening here for you, which is exciting. So let's get into it. Tell me more about the Knight of Wands, the Five of Cups. Okay. Okay. Okay, with the Queen of Wands, the Two of Swords, there's definitely some sort of blockage when it comes to you being able to see something to fruition. This could be feeling not confident enough. This could be letting your fears get the best of you. This is just telling me like there's some sort of blockage when it comes to your powerful feminine energy. And we all have feminine energy within us. The feminine is all about attracting. It's about giving birth to new ideas, new creations. This is like someone who's not going to chase, someone who knows their worth, someone who knows how to work with their shadow rather than having this shadow sabotage them. And it feels like there's some sort of blockage with that. Okay. Yeah, we have the Ten of Wands, the Six of Pentacles, the Star card, Aquarius energy. So yeah, it's like you have a very big dream and goal in your mind. You know, there's something that you feel really connected to, very like it's your purpose. But your approach to it, there's too much. You're just putting too much pressure on yourself. You're putting too much weight. And there needs to be more balance with this approach. Yeah, there's a need for balance here. You need to leave the comfort zone of putting it all on you. You got to be patient with it and not move from force and control. Okay, tell me more about the Two of Swords here. The King of Cups, Queen of Wands. Yeah, Four of Swords, the King of Cups. I mean, this is all about like regulation, calming down, taking a breath. This is about sitting with the difficulty rather than drowning in it. This is something that's teaching you how to not be so reactive to the fear, the doubt, the guilt, the shame. Because again, those things can motivate you, but it's not long lasting, you know, and it's not the true work you need to do to sit with that energy. All right, let's see about the Ten of Wands, the Six of Pentacles, the Star card. Whoa. Okay, we have the Page of Pentacles, the Five of Pentacles, the Seven of Swords. Yeah. So there could be like a new job or something like that. some sort of new journey that you're going on. It may not be as easy or work out as perfectly seamlessly as you wanted, but that's because your approach is not working. You need to have more love rather than be so guarded, rather than be all about like work hard, push and hustle and grind. And it's not to say that you're not going to put in work, but it's like don't like push yourself because you think if you don't get it done, you're not good enough. You know what I mean? Like, for example, my 2026 reading offering, I have to figure out like how do I set it up on my business stuff, because I'm doing it differently than like my scheduling stuff. It's not going to be scheduled. It's just you book it and then I send you a video link whenever I do it, So I told myself I'm going to take 20 minutes to do this. If I don't figure it out, I'm going to take a shower and start my readings. And that's what I did. And of course I wanted to be like, no, keep going until you do it. It's like, no, that's how you get burnt out. That's how you get tired. So it's not to say that something isn't meant for you, because it is. With that star card, it's meant for you. But your approach is what's keeping you set back. And that's because you're being motivated by fear and guilt. So this thing not working out is exactly what you need to sit back and reflect on what actually works for you, what you're giving your power away to, and all of that. I like the Seven of Cups because where there's confusion, there's a time for clarity. If you're confused, that means you need to sit and pause, reflect. So let's see. Tell me more about the Queen of Cups, Seven of Cups. There's a lot of threes coming out here, so you may be seeing a lot of threes next year, or maybe towards the end of the year as you're getting ready for the next year. Okay. We have the Three of Cups, Knight of Pentacles, Three of Swords, Eight of Pentacles, the Three of Wands. Okay. See, what I'm hearing is like, all work and no play makes Johnny a dull boy. So I feel like you're going to have to walk away from the workhorse mentality. Okay. What's cool about the Knight of Pentacles is he is the slowest moving knight in the deck. You need to blend that energy. Okay. Rather than feeling like it's about push, push, go, go, how can you move slower? How can you move with more intention? It's kind of like when you work out, you're not just like, like, no, you go slow, really work those muscles, have control of movement. And that's how you work your muscles. That's how you get into the spots where this is not going to get to, right? You can't rush this. So this is really asking you to take your time. And it's not to say to delay or put things on the back burner, but it's like, how can you show up with more intention? It's like with my offering, like, of course I would have loved to sit and stare and figure it all out. But when I feel myself getting annoyed, I need to take a step back, because I don't want that energy, festering into my business. I don't want to feel annoyed. I don't want you guys to feel like I'm annoyed with you, because I love you, So whenever I catch myself getting like that, I'm like, okay, let me take a step back. Let me go take a shower or something, take a walk, and then we can come back to it, or we can, start something else. Okay. Yeah, you need to acknowledge your growth, your skills, you need to celebrate yourself, and that could be spending time with friends and family, going out, or it could be just, giving yourself a little treat, or giving yourself a little pat on the back, or, a day off or something, just to acknowledge your growth and how far you've come, because then it's not going to be like just moving to one thing or to the next. It's like, wow, I'm really proud of myself. This is huge. This is a big deal. And sitting in those moments brings you more things to be grateful for, to be proud of, And with the Eight of Pentacles, the Three of Wands, yeah, when it comes to your work, to your investments, whatever it is you're putting your time and energy into, it's time to look at it in a different way. Step out of the comfort zone. Okay. It's not about being hard on yourself or, judging yourself or being better than anyone. It's about showing up in an authentic way and having fun. That's why the Star card is here for you. She's naked on that card because she's vulnerable. So allow yourself to show up vulnerably and authentically, not to be the best in the room, not how everyone else wants you to show up, but how you genuinely want to show up for that. Okay? And then we have Justice, the Six of Wands, the Nine of Pentacles. So very, very beautiful. This is all about, like, I feel like there's going to be a lot of success, a lot of balance, a lot of growth for you. And it all stems from you allowing yourself to take a step back and not forcing so much and not letting fear and guilt motivate you, but having a more balanced approach. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. Okay, so there's definitely going to be a bit of struggle when it comes to surrendering. But in those moments, you have to ask yourself, do I want to continue like this forever? Can I trust? Can I trust myself? You know what I mean? Like, there's that animal instinct in you that's like, no, you have to survive, you have to push, you have to be the best, da 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 da. And the thing is, we're not animals. You know, we're animals in a sense, but like, I'm not literally a lion out in the safari. You know, I don't have to hunt for my food. So I don't need to be in that flight or flight mode all the time, you know? Allowing ease, allowing trust will get you closer to your goals than forcing or worrying or guilt or fear or any of that ever will. You know what I mean? So it's not about moving from that space, but it's about holding space for those parts of you, healing those parts of you. So that way you can move forward towards success in as the best version of yourself. Okay. And a part of you is struggling with this because a part of you lacks patience. It can be, okay, so this is what I like to tell people. Feeling is believing, then seeing comes later. Okay. So what that means is, you know, a lot of us think that, oh, I'll believe it when I see it, but your physical reality is the very last thing to change. So instead of like freaking out when you feel like something is taking a while to come to fruition, ask yourself, how can I embody that energy now in my present day? You know, like say, for example, this is like a monetary goal. You know, say you want to save, you know, like $10,000 or something. Okay. Instead of feeling nervous about it or micromanaging your bank account, ask yourself, how would I feel if I knew that money was there? Would you be more relaxed? Would you not need to check your bank account every time you swiped your card? Would you be making smarter financial decisions? You know, asking yourself those questions is important because then when you embody that energy, when you're moving on that frequency, then the goal can come in. It's not about forcing and controlling until you get there, but it's about surrendering and moving as if it's already done because it already is in another dimension or somewhere else because you wouldn't have thought it if it wasn't meant for you. But moving like it's already done, that's what'll bring it in. The universe knows when you're not being genuine. The universe knows when you're putting on a show. And the universe will give you more things to put a show on for. But if that's not what you want to do, learn how to pause and embody rather than trying to force. Okay. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune, the King of Swords, the Queen of Pentacles. Yeah. So it's time for this chapter, this new way of seeing something. It's time for it to unfold. And you're going to be feeling a lot more secure, a lot more in alignment with your truth. But a lot of surrendering is needing to happen here for you. A lot of reflection. So be open to that because it is a beautiful gift, right? If I'm moving from fear and guilt, I want to work on that. So that way I can move from faith, from trust. You know, it's asking a lot of you, but it's also going to give you a lot too. So it's like You got to remind yourself. It's easier to, not easier, but it's better to unlearn all these things now and create ease in your life than just keep, going like fighting uphill, like that's doing too much. All right. I'm going to leave it there for you, Gemini. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to share this with a friend, a loved one. Check out your other placements. And if you want to book the personal reading or any other services I have, go down below to my website and you can check it all out. All right. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. All right, Cancer, let's get into it. We are going to see your major theme for 2026. Thank you for watching. And of course, make sure to check out your other placements. And if you'd like to book a $26 2026 predictions reading, go down to my website below and check it out. All right, let's get a message for Cancer to see their overall theme for 2026, please and thank you. Oh, we have guilt. Gemini just had fear and guilt, so that might, maybe you have Gemini placements in your chart or something like that. But guilt. I release any beliefs that no longer assist in my soul's growth. I know that's right. Okay. So whenever this makes me think of, I don't even remember, I think it was in a book I read that said guilt and shame are social emotions. They are not things that we are born with, right? So like when babies poop their pants or make some sort of explosion, they're not feeling guilt and shame. They're just like, they might be uncomfortable, might be crying because of that. Or sometimes they even laugh. So it's like, ask yourself, why am I feeling guilty about something? Do I need to feel guilty about it? Is there something I've done wrong? Is there some sort of boundary that I've crossed with myself? Take a step back and ask yourself, why am I feeling this way? And is this serving me? Because you're allowed to have these realizations, but you don't necessarily have to have the guilt and the negativity associated with it, right? All right, so let's get some messages for Cancer. Let's get some more clarity on guilt for 2026. Please and thank you. And maybe it's not guilt specifically because it says any beliefs that no longer assist in my soul's growth. So that can feel like, lack of self-worth. That can be, doubting yourself and your abilities. All right, let's get into it. So we're starting out strong with the Nine of Swords. So yeah, there's a lot of, maybe anxiety or overthinking that has been motivating you. And again, those are, I said this to Gemini, they're great motivators. They'll get you where you need to go, but it's not sustainable because you can't feel like this all the time to get you motivated. You have to learn how to have more positive reinforcement for yourself. Okay, let's see. Tell us more about guilt for Cancer. Okay. All right. It's looking good in a way. Okay. So we have the Nine of Swords, the Tower, Scorpio energy, the Eight of Swords. So yeah, there's some sort of like fear and worry that's coming through. And I feel like you bring it to fruition by, maybe something that you're worried about, the worry ends up coming true. It's like what they say, worrying a problem is like worshiping it. It's going to draw in that result that you don't want. Okay. And then with the Eight of Swords, it's just all of this is like very much feeling stuck, feeling like you've given your power away to either overthinking, to negativity, fear, whatever's going on here. But with the Star and the Empress, there is a turnaround here. So this is you feeling abundant, feeling connected to the universe. Like you're getting things figured out here. You're reclaiming your power, which I'm very, very happy to see. But there's definitely a lot you're going to go through to get there. It just is what it is, right? Again, these are important lessons and something you should always be grateful for because you got to learn this at some point. And I'd rather learn it now than, when I'm like 90, So, all right, let's see about all this. Okay. Tell me more. I'm just going to loop this all together about the Nine of Swords, the Tower, the Eight of Swords. What's going on here for Cancer? Okay, the Wheel of Fortune. So all this worry, all this dark energy, it is exactly what is needed for you to start a new chapter, for you to take positive forward movement. Okay, this could be the result of you feeling abandoned, neglected, feeling alone. Four of Pentacles. It's almost like you got abandoned by something you held on tightly to. Maybe you held on to it out of guilt or feeling like there was not going to be anything better for you. So it was like Spirit had to come in and shake it up with the Tower, right? And this situation, this could have been a job, a partnership, friendship, whatever. Maybe even like a living situation where it was like you knew you wanted better, you knew you wanted to move forward, but you didn't want to make anyone feel abandoned. So you just clung to it, clung to it, clung to it until it abandoned you. All right. We do have the Page of Wands here. So this is something that may make you actually start using your voice, actually start feeling confident. It's so interesting how the universe does that. It's like, you want to feel confident? I'm going to strip it from you completely. So you feel what it's like to not have it, and then you will never give it away again. Woo! That's something. Okay, tell me more about the Five of Pentacles, Four of Pentacles. Yeah, this is a situation where you had to surrender. You had to trust in the divine orchestration of something. Tell me more about the Page of Wands. We have the Six of Cups. Yeah, this is something that made you, this could have been like some inner child healing that could have happened here. Or maybe it made you think like, oh my goodness, I've been feeling this way because of something that happened in my childhood that I still haven't gotten over. And I've been replaying it with these people and situations. But now today I can reclaim my power from it. Yeah, there was some sort of disappointment that happened emotionally in childhood, whatever. And it's made you compromise a lot throughout your adult life. But next year you're going to sit and reflect on it, because there's going to be a big situation that happens where it's like you're kind of forced alone, time to think, time to really think about it. Okay. Anything else here for the Five of Pentacles, Four of Pentacles? Yeah, it's like a situation where you kept compromising and then finally someone else decided to leave. And even though you were very, very loyal, it was time for you to move on. This situation wasn't serving you. Yeah, it was time to go. Okay. Let's keep it moving and grooving. Moving on to the Star and the Empress, because that is the beauty that comes from it. You knowing your self-worth, you feeling abundant, protecting your energy, feeling connected to the universe, being able to show up authentically. But this came through some trial and tribulation, which is, hey, that's the name of the game. That's what happens here, Tell me more about the Star and the Empress. Yeah, I like it. The Moon and the Death card. It's like you're no longer letting your doubt, your fear, limiting beliefs, whatever. You're no longer letting those things hold you back. And what's cool with the Death card here, see, 2 Scorpio cards. So this could happen during Scorpio season, which is October, November, or maybe like something just happened in Scorpio season and it's kind of playing out throughout the next year. But Scorpio is also just like a very, very dark symbol, not like in a bad way, but it's like they are comfortable within the shadow. Pluto is their planet, which is the farthest from the sun, right? So it's like dark and introspective. So it's good. It's a good energy, but it's going to be challenging. Okay, but you're a water sign, so allow yourself to flow with it and not be too rigid. I don't see you being rigid, because I feel like Spirit's not even giving you the option. Like something's walking away from you. So it's going to be beautiful, but challenging. So yeah, you're not giving your power away to your doubt and your fear. And the thing with the death card is it's reminding you that death comes for all of us. Change comes for all of us, right? Just like outside, we're starting to get into winter where I'm at, right? So it's like no matter how much those leaves want to stay on those trees, they're falling down, you know? So it's like there's no more resistance to the growth that is happening here. I like that. Yeah, you're on the other side of the fear. You see that? Because look, these pillars here, and then you see in the death card, they're there. So it's like you're figuring things out. Okay. And then with the King of Swords, I love it. You're coming back to your true self. You're feeling confident. You know what you're about now. That's what I love about Spirit. It's crazy. It's like you have to go through the worst thing ever to be like, okay, I'm not doing that again, you know, and that's how we learn, you know, experience is the best teacher. So don't like be mad at yourself for having to go through it and taking your time to get the lesson, but be grateful that you're finally getting it, you know, because it's a big deal. Okay. So that's where I'm leaving it for you, Cancer. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to share this with a friend, family member, and you know, if you want to book something with me, go down to that description box. But I'll see you next time. All right, Leo, let's start your reading. Let's see what is going to come your way for 2026. Please and thank you. Major themes for Leo for 2026. Please and thank you. What is coming their way? What do they need to know? All right, major themes 2026 for Leo. All right, gorgeous. Okay. So we have trust. I accept that my inner voice will always guide me correctly. How beautiful is that? I love that. So yeah, you're learning to trust, listening to your intuition, not letting the external give you that validation or kind of convince you otherwise, but really learning to trust yourself. Some of you could be developing some like psychic abilities, working more with your intuition, maybe meditating more. I like it. All right, let's see. Trust for Leo. Tell us more, please and thank you. Yeah, you're going to get tired of proving yourself. You're going to be like, bro, you're either with it or not. I'm not going to keep like trying to justify or convince you or feel like you have to stand up for yourself. Like, no. All right. All right, we have the Seven of Wands, the Eight of Swords, Three of Cups, the Emperor, the Nine of Cups. So yeah, with the Seven of Wands, the Eight of Swords, like I feel like you have spent a lot of time maybe questioning yourself or trying to prove to other people that you're smart enough, that you're brave enough, that you're good enough, that you can do something, you know? And I just feel like you're kind of tired of that. You're tired of feeling like your back is up against the wall, tired of feeling stuck, tired of feeling like you have to prove yourself. Because at the end of the day, it's your life. You're the only one who has to live with the decisions and the things that you do. So if it's not feeling right for you, who cares what these other people think? You know? With the Three of Cups here, this could mean a few different things. In this situation, this could maybe you're reflecting on some of your connections and friendships. Maybe you're not going to be as social as you have been. Now, this does mean like reuniting with people, going out and things like that. But just kind of connecting it with what's already happening. I feel like you're taking a deeper look at the people you're surrounding yourself with, the people you're telling your dreams and ideas to. Because if it's not someone that's supporting you, or maybe it's like an undercover hater or whatever, like then you need to get yourself away from that. But with the Emperor and the Nine of Cups, I like what I see here. This is you feeling very capable and very like powerful. You are trusting yourself. You know what you can do. You're getting things done, which is cool because it's like instead of waiting for people to agree with it or side with you, you're like, at the end of the day, I'm gonna get my stuff done. All right, you guys, I have to see what time it is because I do have to go to work. So let's pause for a moment. Okay. Okay. I got 30 minutes before I have to get ready, so I think we should be fine. We'll see. All right, let's get into it though. So let's see about the Seven of Wands, Eight of Swords. Tell me more about that. Okay, we have the Six of Wands and the Star card. Okay, so this is the energy of someone who is very successful, someone who knows what is right for them and they're ready to go towards it. So then why would you be second guessing yourself? Why would you be feeling like you have to prove yourself? Because there's people around you who are not always the most supportive, you know? It's like you get some sort of opportunity, some sort of realization, some good news, and like there's people immediately around you who are like getting in your head about it, who are trying to argue with you about it, make you question it. And it's like with friends like this, who needs enemies, you know? You got to check these people because at the end of the day, you are someone who is confident and who knows themselves. And you might have surrounded yourself with so many people and situations that you have forgotten that. Not on my watch. All right, let's see about the Three of Cups here. Yeah, see, I knew it. I knew it. See, I didn't doubt myself. I knew that Three of Cups was weird. Yeah, Five of Cups with the Three of Wands. Yeah, it's just time for you to leave certain friendships, certain situations in the past, you know? And the thing is, like, these may have been people that you have known for a very, very long time. There's like a level, there's a comfort zone with them. But the thing is, you're ready to leave comfort zones. That's why you have your eye on the prize right here. But some of these other people are not ready for that. And they want to stay stagnant and they want to stay comfortable and they want to stay having a good time instead of the challenge of growth. So there's going to be something that happens here. It could either be some sort of realization or maybe some sort of falling out happens. But it's exactly what you need to get you moving in the right direction. Tell me more about the Five of Cups. Yeah, Spirit's not giving me the specifics, but with the Two of Cups, the Hanged Man, there is going to be some sort of like shift in a connection that does mean a lot to you. And you're going to see this person in a different way and recognize that, like, I have to surrender this. Like, this isn't what I thought it was. Yeah. There could be like an argument or some sort of falling out here, but it's exactly what you needed to get your tail up out of there because this isn't somewhere you can grow. It's not making sense. All right, let's see about the Emperor, the Nine of Cups. Tell me more about that. All right, I like it. The Four of Wands, the Magician, the Queen of Wands. Okay, I like it. I like it. So yeah, whatever goes on here, it's what you need to become more independent and really trust in yourself, trust in your capabilities, all that jazz. So I like this because first of all, you're really believing in yourself and you're really feeling capable. You're manifesting a lot of beautiful things. You're standing in your power and you know how to use past things, your resources, your mind, like all these things. Like you're knowing how to bring all of this together to help you move towards the life that you truly want, create the life that you truly want. All right, with the Four of Wands, the Queen of Wands. Okay, with the Queen of Wands, you're just becoming a lot more magnetic, a lot more confident. And you know, like the shadow here, that's like the past pain and stuff like that. Instead of letting it dictate how you show up for things, instead of letting it control you, you have controlled it. You have integrated it. And there's a lot more balanced connections here as well. The thing is, this connection was very deep and it was very like almost maybe immediate for some of you, but it did not help you grow. It was very comfortable, and maybe at the time you needed a place for comfort. But now you have a more balanced connections coming to fruition here. And you can actually build with this energy rather than just staying stuck somewhere. All right, fierce. Love that. That's all I have for you, Leo. Thank you for watching. And if you guys would like more, go down to my description box below. My website is linked there if you want to sign up for my newsletter, check out any services I offer. I'll be there for you. All right, we've got Virgo up next to see what your overall theme for 2026 will be. And again, scroll down to the description box below if you'd like to book a personal $26 2026 prediction reading, or if you want any other services, or to join my newsletter. All right, so let's get into it, Virgo. All right, Spirit, what is Virgo's overall theme for 2026? Please and thank you. Overall theme. Okay. We got a card. Let's see. We have forgiveness. I acknowledge that harboring resentment blocks the flow of love. Okay, wonderful. I'm going to get our incense going because I forgot to burn it. Get some new incense here. But forgiveness. So we also have friendship at the bottom of the deck over here. So some of you may be forgiving a friend, or maybe there's like a past situation that you're finally finding forgiveness for. You know, it usually, especially if it's like a big situation, it takes some time to be able to let go of the pain that some situations can bring. Okay, maybe you're realizing, you know, I don't want to hold on to a grudge or hold on to negativity because that just weighs me down. So feels like there's a lot of growth, a lot of realizations happening for you. And again, know that forgiveness does not mean you have to welcome someone back with open arms into your life. Forgiveness is just for you. It does not mean you have to tell the other person that you've forgiven them. It doesn't mean you have to have a sit down with them to talk about it. Like, it can just mean that, you know, I was hurt by this, but I'm willing and able to move forward from it. I understand why it happened and what I was taught. And for those lessons, I'm grateful. All right, let's get into it. Get some more clarity on that with the tarot. Ooh. Oh, yeah. I like that. The Strength card, Leo energy. Yeah, see, in the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, you're ready to like put your wall down, your guard down. You're ready to relax, breathe out. You see how stressed out this guy looks? And this card does talk about perseverance, determination, but it's also like the wounded warrior. You know, this wasn't a situation where you just stopped everything in your life and you weren't able to move forward. This was something that really did hurt you, and you picked yourself up and, you know, moved forward, but you're still carrying that like paranoid kind of energy, and you're ready to move on from that. So I love it. With the Strength card, yeah, it's like there's the part of you that wants to hold on to the grudge, wants to hold on to the pain and never forget. And then there's that higher self in you that's like, listen, I know that everything happens for a reason. I know that I was meant to learn something from the situation. So I'm allowing myself to do that and allowing myself to be brave and courageous and move forward without this like suit of armor in the name of, you know, that's showing up as a grudge. You know what I mean? Because sometimes we hold on to things like that because we feel like if we don't, then that means we're weak. Then that means that person has, you know, been forgiven of everything, and, you know, they just get this clean slate. And it's not that at all, you know? So let's see more about this forgiveness. Yeah, there's definitely some sort of argument, some sort of falling out, fight. But with the Queen of Wands, the Hermit, you've been able to really kind of look deep within yourself and really ask yourself, like, do I really want to carry this anymore? Do I really want to have this controlling me in this way? So yeah, I feel like you've been able to really gain a lot from this situation. You found the silver lining, the blessing, the growth that was here for you. Okay. All right, yeah, we have the Three of Wands, exactly. And see, he's got that armor. It's like you're ready to move on. You're ready to just let it go. And again, that does not mean that this person is going to come back into your life. It just means that you're not going to carry this anymore. You're ready to just have a new beginning, have a new chapter. All right, we have the King of Swords, Ace of Pentacles, King of Pentacles. Okay, okay. This could have involved a Leo or maybe another earth sign or an air sign. With the King of Swords, Ace of Pentacles, King of Pentacles. Yeah, I feel like you're coming back to your true self and you're realizing, this other person or people, whatever, may not see. Sorry, the sun is like in my face, so I'm just like avoiding it a little bit. But this is about recognizing that this person does not have to see things in the same way as you, but it doesn't mean that you're wrong or you have to change the way you see something. It's just the fact is that you're getting back to your true self, and I feel like you're recognizing what this taught you and how it helped you become your true self more and more. Sometimes we don't recognize a boundary that we have or a need that we have unless someone crosses it or isn't fulfilling it. So even though we tend to learn these things by disappointment, at least we learned them. And with the Ace of Pentacles, King of Pentacles, you're focusing on your money, on your abundance. Okay, you could be really focused at work or in business or just, focusing on your own health and your own fulfillment and taking care of you. Yeah, it's kind of like you were like, this is distracting me too much. This is taking up too much of my energy. Let me get back to me. I like that. All right, let's see about the Strength card, the Three of Wands. Let's get some more detail there. Okay. I love it. Okay, King of Pentacles with the Star card, or Knight of Pentacles, excuse me. Yeah, it definitely took you some time to process the situation. And I think that's how, I'm not an astrologer by any means, but I feel like Virgo, you can be like that. Like you see things for what it is, you like things to be organized. And so if someone kind of crosses you, it's going to take you time to really dissect it and understand it because you would have never moved like that. So that's why it may have taken more time to forgive and release this. But with the Star card, this is kind of exactly what you needed to help you reveal a deeper side of you that you may not have had come up to the surface before. So again, even though it was uncomfortable, it was beautiful and necessary. And with the Magician here, the Three of Swords, yeah, it's like through a heartbreak, through a disappointment, a betrayal, you have become a stronger, wiser, more connected to the universe version of yourself. And I love that. And so to me, it's worth it, All right, let's see about the King of Swords. Ooh, yes. Exactly. See, yeah. With the Death card, the Four of Wands, Two of Cups. Ooh, wow. This could have been like a partner, like a marriage or a long-term commitment, or someone in the family. Either way, it's someone you're extremely close with. So it's kind of like a double like stab and twist with the knife, especially like when it's someone so close to you and you don't expect the friendship or the partnership, relationship, whatever, to unfold in that way. But death comes for us all. Doesn't matter how close you are. But what I like, the only card that came out was the Fool. So yeah, you're totally letting something go this year and just being like, you know what? Let me stop weighing myself down with the memories and the feelings of the situation. Let me stop carrying this burden. And I'm just going to start having fun, being optimistic, living my truth, and, just doing my thing. I like that. I like that. All right, let's see about the Ace of Pentacles, King of Pentacles. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it's like through that betrayal, you've been able to start a new life that has way more fulfillment, creativity, more alignment with your true heart's desires. And with the Nine of Wands, the Wheel of Fortune, this is what we saw at the bottom of the deck earlier. So yeah, it's like, you're ready to move on. You're tired of holding on to the pain, the, feeling paranoid, not knowing who you can trust. And it's just like, that's too much energy. That's no way to live life. And so you're ready to move on. And with the Chariot, you are. Some of you could literally be moving or traveling, maybe going on some sort of vacation. But this situation is kind of like the thing that lit the fire in you to be like, you know what? No, I'm not going to live my life how other people want me to. I'm not going to hold on to the pain that other people put me through. Why would I hold on to it? I didn't do anything. So I just feel like you're going to be feeling a lot more confident. And even though it was a difficult situation that brought all of this up, it's serving you in a very beautiful way. So congratulations. All right. We're going to leave it there for you, Virgo. And, just check out the description box below if you want to get anything else from me. Okay? Okay. All right. We're going to move on to Libra. Let's see what your overall theme for 2026 will be. Please and thank you for Libra. Overall theme for 2026. What does Libra need to know? Please and thank you. And of course, if you would like that $26 2026 prediction reading, just go down to the description box below, click on my website. Underneath Soul Services, everything I offer will be there. And you can also sign up for my newsletter. All right, let's get a card for Libra 2026. Okay. I like this. Okay. All right, we have balance. That's what you're all about. I bring a state of perfect harmony into my world, and I do so without judgment. I know that's right. Okay, we also have growth here, and then judgment, freedom. I like this. I feel like you're letting go of judging yourself for what balance looks like for you. There's going to be a lot of growth in 2026. I think you're really going to get to know yourself in a deeper way and understand your needs, your boundaries, other people's needs and boundaries, and allowing yourself to show up in a more harmonious way. I like that. This feels like it's going to be a good year for you, just because balance, that's what your sign is all about. All right, let's see about it. All right, tell me more about balance for Libra 2026. Okay. All right. Oh. All right, we have the Seven of Swords starting out. So this can mean someone's being manipulative, shady, someone you can't trust, someone that's stealing, cheating, lying. But this can also be approaching something in a different way. So we'll see about that. We do have the Two of Cups, Ace of Swords. So I like this. See, this can either be like gaining clarity, understanding, having better communication in a partnership, or because your card is balance, this could be your masculine and feminine energy coming into more balance, or the different aspects of you. I like that. Okay. We also have the Seven of Pentacles. So we're being patient with something, planting seeds. I do feel like you're going to have a lot of new routines, new ways of showing up, new habits. So I think your 2026 might be a lot of you like kind of figuring out the new ways you want to approach things. Okay. And then we have the Knight of Cups here. So this is all about like love and apology, softness. So I feel like you're shifting from feeling like you have to overthink and manipulate and control to allowing your heart guide you, trusting in your intuition, and having a soft, safe approach to situations rather than feeling like you have to, be calculated. Okay. Let's see though. Let's see what we got going on. Okay. Tell me more about the Seven of Swords for Libra. Okay. Okay. All right. We have the Strength card, the Hermit, and the Two of Swords. Okay. Yeah, it feels like you realize that you have been blocking your higher self, blocking your intuition. by overthinking, being in your head too much, feeling like you have to be smart and savvy all the time. You know, you can be smart and savvy, but you don't have to, you know, overthink and things like that. That's when your intuition should come in. With the strength card, I definitely feel like there's going to be a lot of reflection for you in 2026. I feel like you're reflecting on how you may have blocked your own blessings, how you may have just your overthinking and the approach that you were giving things was like you were manipulating your own self, not even realizing it. Like you were making things harder for yourself. Yeah. But we do have the Four of Swords, the Nine of Cups, and the Four of Wands. So I do see like maybe some of you may be going to therapy next year or doing maybe some sort of retreat, counseling, some sort of spiritual work, because I feel like you're taking a step back from some things and really reflecting on like, what is it that you need? What is it that you need to heal? What do you need to heal from, you know? And with the Nine of Cups, Four of Wands, like it looks like after some time of like introspection, reflection, it feels like you come back to yourself, come back to balanced partnerships, family, things like that. So it feels like everything's going to come full circle for you, but I feel it's going to be a little hard initially because you're really going to have to take a look at yourself and your approach and things like that. And that's hard, you know, of course it's hard. That's why most people don't do it. Okay. Anything else for the Two of Swords? Page of Cups. Let's see. Yeah. You needed to be more curious. You needed to be more like allow yourself to surprise yourself. Don't feel like you have to control everything. Yeah, like just kind of like go with the flow, have fun, rather than feeling like you have to overthink every situation. Anything else for the Four of Swords? The Eight of Wands. Yeah, it's like once you allow yourself to take a step back, some of you guys may literally be traveling for some sort of like healing. But once you let yourself take a step back, I feel like things start making more sense and communication starts flowing better. Yeah, there's that happiness. Yeah. Okay, that's cool. All right, let's see about the Two of Cups, Ace of Swords. Okay. We have the Five of Cups and Justice. Okay, that's your card, Libra. We also have the Death card, the Six of Swords here. The Emperor, the Devil. It feels like there's some sort of toxic masculinity happening here. Okay. Well, Justice, Five of Cups. There's going to be some sort of disappointment within a partnership, relationship of some sort here. It's almost like you start taking care of yourself, and then this starts crumbling down, which is interesting, right? But sometimes people stay with somebody just to wait until they get themselves together because they don't want to feel like they're abandoning somebody during their worst times. And it's like as soon as you start getting yourself together, then this other person is like, okay, you got it from here. Because yeah, it seems like somebody felt like they had to walk away from the situation. And this could be you. Maybe now that you're in a better place, you realize this isn't the partnership for me. Who knows? And it could be friends, family, coworkers, whatever. But with the Death card and the Six of Swords, it feels like, yeah, it feels like somebody needed a break. Someone needed time away. And it felt like maybe it was a bit too chaotic for this person. And with the Emperor and the Devil, you know, someone could have been very controlling, or someone may have felt like they want to be the authority or the power figure, and they may have had a toxic way of displaying that. Tell me more about the Five of Cups. Yeah, the Lovers. Okay. Gemini energy with the Lovers. Judgment. Queen of Pentacles. Five of Swords. Yeah, it feels like someone felt like they were tired of, kind of taking care of you, tired of, it feels like there was an imbalance, like they were always giving, and not getting enough in return. And again, this could be how you feel, now that you've gotten yourself together, maybe you're like, yeah, this doesn't feel fair for me anymore. Let's see more. Tell me more about the Nine of Cups, Four of Wands. We're going to back it up a little bit. Ace of Cups. Yeah, it feels like there was like a renewal of this connection. You're feeling good. You're feeling healed. And then, this could come maybe out of the blue for some of you. Like you're just like, what? Tell me more about the Lovers. And again, this could be how you're feeling. So it's like maybe, yeah, okay, this connection is toxic. All right, we have the Devil clarifying the Lovers, Capricorn energy. Yeah, someone is really following their truth, and that's leaving someone else to feel abandoned. Now, again, it doesn't matter which side of the scale you're on. Scale, that's funny. I didn't even do that on purpose. But it doesn't matter which side you're on. It just is the truth of the situation. Like it feels like it's not working. Like you can't grow together is what it feels like. Anything else for the Justice card? Okay. This may be something that you're initiating with the Sun card, because this is the happiest card in the deck, and I clarified your card with that. So there's a lot of clarity coming your way about this connection. I think you're realizing that, you want to move on your own, and this is not something that is fulfilling for you anymore because you've outgrown it. It is what it is. What happens. What are you going to do? All right, let's talk about the Seven of Pentacles. Let's see what that is talking about. Some sort of patience. You're planting seeds, creating new things. Let's see. We have the Knight of Wands, the Ten of Swords, the Fool. Yeah, so it's like now that you've freed yourself from this situation, you've let it go, you're ready to start a new chapter, a new beginning. I think a lot of you could be traveling a lot and just feeling like you're here to have a good time. You want to explore, adventure. You're going towards whatever feels good, and it's not necessarily about, what's the responsible thing to do, but it feels like you feel very free. Maybe you felt very judged by this person. Yeah, you might have felt judged by this person, and that's why you freed yourself, because you've been growing, okay? And sometimes you can't grow together, and that's okay, but you're not letting that hold you back. You're doing your thing. All right, let's see about this Knight of Cups. Tell me more about the Knight of Cups. So there could be some new love for you guys. Maybe there's some sort of apology coming in for you, or again, just, going towards what actually makes you happy in life rather than what you feel like you have to do. All right, the Three of Wands, Two of Wands, Knight of Pentacles. Okay, some of you guys could be moving, or just there's going to be a lot of changes in your life. There already has been clearly, but I feel like you're just going to continue on that momentum. With the Knight of Pentacles, if this is a move, or whatever change you're going through, it's not an impulsive decision, right? You're having a good time here, but when it comes to truly following your heart, you're allowing yourself time to really think and just, make a pros and cons list and analyze what feels right for you and what doesn't. Because at the end of the day, you're leaving a big comfort zone, and you're allowing yourself to go and explore and see new things, experience new people. So I feel like 2026 is going to be a really fun year for you, but there's going to be, a lot of challenges to help you grow. But that's exactly what you need to start living the life that is true for you. So that's cool. All right, that's where I'm going to leave it for you, Libra. Thank you for watching. And again, if you'd like anything else from me, go down to the description box below, click on a link or two, and I'm there. All right, Scorpio, it is your time to shine. All All right, but we are going to see what your overall theme for 2026 is. Don't forget to like, share, comment if this is resonating for you. And don't forget to check out your other placements. Yes. All right, Spirit, what is Scorpio's overall theme for 2026? Please and thank you. Overall theme. Oh, okay. Here we go. Okay, we have honesty. I can't always expect the truth from others, but I can expect it from myself. I love that. I love an honest Scorpio. I feel like y'all are very, very honest, for real. And what's cool about this is, feels like you're lowering your expectations for others. And I know that can sound crazy, but it helps you meet them where they are rather than getting disappointed over and over again when they let you down. You know? Sometimes you just got to do that for people. And this is also understanding that not everyone's like you. Not everyone is as real as you, as comfortable talking about uncomfortable things as you. And feels like you're just accepting that. You're like, you know what? It is what it is. I'm going to stop trying to force people to show up how I show up because I don't want to be disappointed anymore. That's real. That's real. All right. Whoa. Okay. Yeah, you might have felt like you were trying to drag something out of somebody, and it's just like, why am I even sitting here doing this with this grown person? You know, I'm just going to stop expecting them to be truthful. Now, here's the thing. Then you adjust their importance and their placement in your life. If you can't trust someone, if someone can't be real with you, real with themselves, that's okay. There's nothing that you can do to force someone to be ready for something that they're not ready for, period. You know, it's like trying to force an addict to get clean. Until they're ready and they want that, it's not going to happen, you know? And it's not to say to just give up on them, but it's to say, okay, that's the phase you're in. This is where you're at. Let me adjust myself so I stop getting hurt, you know? So let's see about honesty. Tell us more about honesty for Scorpio. Okay. Honesty. Be honest, you want this. I can be heartless, regardless my conscience. Okay, let's see about honesty. Okay. So we have the Seven of Cups, King of Cups, the Sun, Wheel of Fortune, the Three of Swords, the Three of Cups. Very interesting. Okay. Now the Seven of Cups, King of Cups, I'm trying to decide if these go together. I feel like they don't. Okay. Seven of Cups. So there's definitely some sort of confusion, illusion, uncertainty going on here for 2026. This is probably what gets the ball rolling in this, you know what? I'm going to be real. I can't expect that from everybody. But yeah, there's some sort of like, there's confusion. Someone's blowing smoke up your butt, you know? Like it's and you're it's like you're trying to take all this different information and make sense of it all, but it's like, what? That's what I'm feeling like. It's like, huh? But with the King of Cups, this is your card. I feel like you're not letting someone get you riled up, which is really good. That's emotional maturity right there. You're like, you know what? These are my feelings. This is the situation. I'm just going to take it as it is, keep it cute, you know? And with the Sun, the Wheel of Fortune, I feel like you see something for what it really is. There's a lot of clarity. And you also know what you want. So I feel like you're allowing yourself to just take everything as it is, and I'm going to move forward and act accordingly. And then we have the Three of Swords, Three of Cups. So there could have been some sort of betrayal, some sort of maybe cheating, or maybe some people in your friend group aren't who you thought they were. Like, it just feels like there's a lot coming to the surface. And yeah, see, like grief. I understand losing something is an opportunity to appreciate it. Yeah. I feel like you're going to be grieving in 2026 about certain relationships, connections. But at the end of the day, like, that's beautiful that there was a lot of love there. But if you can't trust people, if they're not going to be honest with you, then like how you can't build on that. You just can't, you know? So let's break it down. Let's see what's going on. Break it down, break it down. Wait. Okay. Tell me more about the Seven of Cups for Scorpio. Okay. I feel like this is going to be the juiciest reading that we have today. Okay, let's talk about it. We have the Lovers, Gemini energy, the Two of Wands, the Page of Wands. Okay. I feel like you get some sort of news about either a romantic partner. The Lovers doesn't always have to be romantic. You can love friends platonically. You can love your family, right? So someone that's really close to you, I feel like you get some sort of message about them. And from there, you're trying to decide what to do with it. You know, like, can you trust this information? Can you trust this person? You know, you're feeling very defensive because of some sort of communication that comes in. Okay, tell me more about the Page of Wands. See, the Two of Cups, the Knight of Wands. See, yeah, there could have been somebody cheating or somebody being reckless or just someone that like was not. This makes me think of a saying like, especially in relationships, that people say like, you're supposed to treat me like glass, treat me like a cup of tea, carry me very carefully, treat me kindly, be gentle and fragile with me. But some people treat their relationships like footballs, throwing them, tackling them, throwing them on the ground. You know, hopefully not literally, that's not what I'm trying to say, but it's like just being very negligent. And it feels like that's what happened here. We have the Queen of Wands, Four of Swords. Okay, whatever the situation was, um, yeah, I feel like you feel betrayed and hurt, and it's something you need to take a step back from. It doesn't feel like immediately you're going to start making decisions, right? Because you still have the Two of Wands, so it's like you're kind of back and forth with it. But whatever comes out here, it's like you're like, I need time to reflect and think about this. Tell me more about the Lovers. Okay. I mean, because we have the Ten of Cups, Eight of Pentacles, and the King of Swords. So you could be dealing with an air sign here or a fire sign, but heavy Gemini too. But it feels like y'all put a lot of work into making this like a happy, strong communication, like emotionally fulfilled connection, relationship. But the King of Swords, I might look up. Yeah, tell me more about this King of Swords. We have the Emperor, the Ace of Pentacles. Okay, I mean, this was something with a very strong foundation. So what happened? What happened here? This is probably why it's so confusing, because it's like, if it was a strong foundation, good communication, lots of love, then what happened? Anything else for this spirit? We have the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups and the Knight of Cups. I mean, this is all about love, but someone's confused. Someone doesn't know what they want. Someone doesn't know, yeah, someone doesn't know if they want long-term commitment, if they want a divine partnership, if they want marriage. Someone's not sure which way to go. Okay. All right. Yeah, it's almost like I'm picturing a scene where it's like you and your partner or whoever is sitting on a couch together and you guys are talking about future plans. And it feels like you always thought you were on the same page. And then all of a sudden, this person's like, well, I don't know if I want that actually. And you're like, you could have said this months ago. What do you mean? What happened? Yeah. All right. Tell me more about the King of Cups. All right. Yeah. Okay. All right. It feels like you've always known that you wanted marriage, long term commitment, balanced connections. You wanted a connection. And again, this could be friends, family, lovers, whatever. But you've always known that you wanted a balanced connection. You want to be there for your people. You want your people to be there for you, you know? You've always known what you needed out of any kind of connection. And with the Four Pentacles, I feel like you're not going to sacrifice what it is that you want to keep someone around. And so you choose to move on. Oof. This is juicy. I'm sorry, y'all. This is crazy. Anything else for the Six of Swords? The Ace of Wands. Okay, yeah, so it's like some sort of new beginning. Yeah, you have to start over. You have to go towards a new beginning because it's like you're not going to let go of your dreams and your goals. And again, maybe you're the one that doesn't want a commitment. That's also very possible for you. And maybe because a lot of the times too, people will pretend like they don't want as much just to have the person around, and then they think in their head, oh well, eventually they'll want what I want. I don't think that's happening in this one. All right, let's keep it moving. So we have the Sun, the Wheel of Fortune. So yeah, there's a lot of clarity here, moving towards a new chapter, moving towards happiness. So let's see about that. We have the Knight of Pentacles, the Hermit. Okay. Knight of Pentacles, Temperance, the Star, and the Hermit. So this is a big change for you because there's like 5 major arcana here. So you took your time with this, right? I don't feel like, again, like I don't feel like you were being impulsive with this decision. I think you really took your time to think, reflect, and decide, does this make sense? Is this what I want? You know, and at the end of the day, it was really about what really brings you fulfillment, what really lights you up. That's that's what made that's what you made this decision with. It wasn't about, I'm here for a good time, not a long time. I'm being impulsive. Like, no, you really sat and reflected on this. And then you made peace with it as well. You're like, this sucks, but I'm going to accept this situation for what it is and keep going towards what is in alignment for me. I always tell people that's like the greatest act of love is letting someone go when you know you're not in alignment, when you don't have the same values, the same goals, the same, like if you're just not on the same trajectory in life. And it can be very, very hard, especially if you're the one that's having, I mean, someone's going to have to let somebody go, but it's really hard whenever, it's a great person, but, you know, what about, 10 years from now? What are we going to be doing? And it's not to say that you always have to be thinking about the future, but if you know that this is a good thing for right now, but not like forever, then eventually you have to, cut that loose. You can't just dangle someone along, right? All right, so let's see about this Three of Swords, Three of Cups, because that's some sort of shift that's happening here. you know, and maybe this person or maybe you, whoever decided to walk away, or not necessarily whoever decided, but someone in this connection might be retaliating, might be, you know, out here kind of showing their ass a little bit. It's almost like this person was like, fine, if you don't want to be with me, I'll go be with your friend. That's crazy. That's crazy. Okay, let's see. Tell me more about the Three of Swords, Three of Cups. Lots of threes. Lots of threes. So that may be a significant number for you next year. Yeah, I feel like someone wanted the last laugh. Silly. Okay, so, okay, here we go. Okay, we have the Five of Pentacles, the Moon card. Yeah, it's like someone felt very abandoned, very neglected, very hurt by this decision. And I think that they're kind of stewing in that, and stewing in like the rejection that they feel. Okay, with the Chariot, Ten of Pentacles, Three of Wands. It's almost like two different energies. Like one person's feeling really hurt, and then another person is feeling like, okay, let me go towards the things that I meant to go towards. It's very interesting. Okay. Tell me more about the Moon, Five of Pentacles. Okay, we have the Empress. So you could be dealing with the Taurus. Yeah, this person's going to slowly rebuild, but they're very, very hurt by the decision to walk away. Like, I feel like this person was not expecting this. All right, Three of Wands, Ten of Pentacles, the Chariot. Tell me more. Yeah, okay, okay. So it's almost like, this is very weird. It's almost like the person, it feels like there was a person who was like, this is what I want for my life. This is my goals. Da, 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 da. That was probably you because you're being honest, right? And it feels like you were, you know, on this trajectory, trying to bring this person along with you. And then it's like you guys had to sit down and you realize there was a lot of love, but this person didn't have the motivation, didn't have the same goals as you. So you reflected and you were like, is this something that I can be patient with, something I can accept? And I think you came to the conclusion that you can't, you know? And the fact that this person's an Empress and then we had the Emperor, like this probably was a very strong connection, but this person is still growing. This person has a lot to learn still. So I feel like when you're already at that point and you're like, I don't have the capacity to teach you everything you need to be taught. I don't have the capacity to wait for you to learn while I'm, you know, still growing, right? Sometimes it's a situation where like there's so much love here, but I would have to literally freeze myself in time for you to be able to get on my level. And that does not make it a bad thing because not everyone's meant for everyone. That would be crazy. So it feels like you had to do what you had to do and leave the situation so you could keep on your trajectory, right? Because you're at the 10 and they're at the 7. They're just now growing their stuff. Meanwhile, you've got generational wealth already. So yeah, it's just a situation where you're not on the same level. And I think that maybe this person was inspired by your motivation, inspired by, you know, the way that you show up and the way that you're so honest. And it also probably intimidated them. And maybe they were like, okay, I'm not on their level, but I'm not going to say that. You know what I mean? Of course, someone that's not on your level isn't going to say, hey, you shouldn't be around me because I'll never be able to reach that in the time that I need to, you know? So yeah, you had to separate, you had to split ways, and that's difficult, and I get that, but you got to do what you got to do. All right, Scorpio, that's your reading. Thank you for watching. And again, if you would like to book your $26 personal 2026 reading, go down below to the link to my website, and it's going to be all on there for you. Soul Services. And if you want to sign up for the newsletter, that's there for you too. Thank you, guys. All right, Sagittarius, your turn. We are going to see what your overall theme for 2026 is and any guidance or details Spirit has for that. Thank you so much for watching. And don't forget to like, comment, share, check out your other placements, and share this video with a friend, why don't you? All right, Spirit, let's get Sagittarius's 2026 overall theme, please and thank you. Let's see what we got. Ooh, I like this. Okay. Imagination. SpongeBob, yeah. Imagination. I embrace and nourish the creative aspect of my mind. I like that a lot. Yeah, so feeling creative, maybe, and creativity, it's not just like art, right? It can be, you know, cooking, fashion, writing, right? Doing your hair, tattoo, nails. So maybe you're exploring some different mediums, different ways of being creative, maybe doing some sacral chakra work, because that's our center of creativity, right in like the hips, below the belly button, above the tailbone. That's where that's going to be located. All right. I like this. I really like this for you, Sagittarius. I feel like a lot of your readings last year were all about like you standing in your power, doing what you want to do. So I feel like that this is a good way to start the year, or to have the year. Okay. Tell me more about imagination for Sagittarius. Okay, I like it. I like it. Imagination. Cool. Okay. Okay. We do have the Tower and the Knight, or the King of Swords at the bottom. So I feel like through some sort of like ending or harsh realization, you're coming back to your true self. So that's cool. Okay, we have the King of Cups, which love that. You're very much feeling like intuitive, creative, spending time in your emotions, not letting them control you, but maybe finding inspiration, creative inspiration from them. I like that. In the Seven of Pentacles, you're being patient about something. Maybe some of you are starting like an apprenticeship or studying some sort of creative I don't even know what I'm trying to say. Creative, some like you're studying some sort of art thing. Like maybe you're going to take some cooking classes. Maybe you're taking a pottery class or sip and paint even, you know. But with the Eight of Swords, Three of Cups, now it's feeling like you're very nervous around friends or family. Maybe you're nervous about like going back to your hometown or something. There's some sort of anxiety surrounding people that you know. Like it feels like you have this new creative kind of like energy flowing through you, and maybe people aren't used to that for some reason. You know, it doesn't matter what other people think, especially with your art and your creativity. That's standing in that authenticity is one of the greatest frequencies out there. So don't worry about that. But we do have the Strength card, so I don't think you are worried about it. You know, it could hurt your feelings, but I feel like you are being very brave, very strong, and continuing on the path that resonates for you, which I know that's right. Okay, so let's get into it. Let's see about the King of Cups. I like that energy. Okay, okay. I love it. All right, so we have the World card, the Sun card, the Knight of Wands. Very, very beautiful. So yeah, definitely something came full circle here. You learned a lesson. You've accepted something for what it is. You're feeling successful, achieved something big. Who knows? But with the Sun, the Knight of Wands, like you're really ready to tap into that inner child, go towards what's fun and exciting and new for you. So I like that energy. Let's see more about the World card, though. I like it because to me, it looks like you're like, I don't have to explain myself to people anymore. It does not have to make sense for other people. Do you think whenever I told my family, hey, I'm going to be a tarot reader and a spiritual healer, you know, some of them were like, what? You know? But it's not their journey. It's not their path. I don't expect them to understand it. Just like I don't understand, you know, a lot of my family works in the medical field. Yuck. No way, Jose. I could never do it. But that's not my path. I'm not going to discourage them. You know what I mean? Okay. Tell us more about the World card. Yeah, I'm just, geez, Spirit, I'm hearing, I don't give a flying fuck. Y'all really don't care. Long hair don't care. That's funny as fuck, for real. That's so funny. Okay. Okay. Nine of Swords, Three of Swords. Okay. So, yeah, there was definitely some sort of heartbreak, some sort of pain, betrayal, something like that. But what's cool about it is you really turned this into something beautiful. Like maybe it was someone that you were really close to, and maybe not having them around anymore, you're like, I kind of want to go, do something creative. I want to go paint. I want to go cook. So, I mean, it's unfortunate it happened in this way, but yeah, it's like it really freed you to leave a comfort zone and explore what makes your heart happy. Explore creatively. Like that's awesome. That's beautiful. You're going to turn that pain into art. Ooh, I just crinkled up my card. All right, let's see about the Seven of Pentacles. All right. Okay, we have Judgment, Three of Pentacles, Three of Wands, or Four of Wands, and we do have the Three of Wands, actually. Okay, so I definitely see you're leaving a comfort zone, like we said, and I think that you're trying to find new people that are more in alignment with the way you want to show up. Like maybe you're having to find new friends, new people to be around. I feel like there's going to be a lot of exploring for you next year, which that's all up your alley. Like you guys love to explore and adventure and have new experiences, and I feel like this is going to be a big one for sure. Some of you could be traveling a lot and just meeting all kinds of walks of life and people that resonate with you. And see, like he is a sculptor. So I feel like you're just maybe even traveling for art, like I know there's a lot of people who do live painting and like murals at festivals and things like that. So that could be something that you're getting into. But with Judgment, the Four of Wands, hold on. I think that at one point a top priority for you was maybe like having a family, settling down, marriage, things like that. And right now I feel like you're feeling, creativity, new horizons. Like you're ready for some new stuff. Because the thing is, you did invest a lot of time into a partnership or into family, and then it just didn't pan out how you expected. I'm going to get some clarity, though, on this Four of Wands and Judgment. Yes, I love it, actually, because you realized, hey, I can't make everyone happy. Why be a people pleaser when people are never pleased? That's what I feel your slogan for 2026 is going to be. You really tried a lot, and I feel like you really diluted yourself to go along with something, and now you're freeing yourself and allowing your true creative self come to the surface, and it's about time. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, see, like some sort of partnership just kind of ended in a disaster, and it made you realize like I've been holding myself back a lot for this connection, and I'm ready to spread my wings and fly. I'm ready to go towards all new beginnings. That's cute. All right, let's see about the Eight of Swords, Three of Cups. Some sort of anxiety surrounding a group of people. Okay. All right, we have the Moon card, the Two of Swords, and the Eight of Pentacles. Yeah. Oh, whoa. Yeah, your anxiety about, like, I feel like it matters a lot to you what people think about you, or making people proud, or following the pack. And that's not you, Sagittarius. Like to me, y'all are the most like creative, spontaneous, sign out there. So the fact that you may have been like putting yourself in a box, it was only a matter of time before this blew up, honestly. So now I feel like you're realizing how much of your authenticity you were sacrificing, and you're just going to invest back into yourself. Yeah, it's like you were holding on to something that didn't even make you happy. So now it's time to go on your own and really figure out what matters to you. Tell me more about the Moon, Two of Swords. Yeah, Queen of Swords with the Nine of Cups. Yeah, it just feels like you were letting people like kind of dictate for you what fulfillment meant for you and what made you happy. And it was only a matter of time before that blew up, because you can't live your life for other people, especially a Sagittarius. You know what I mean? And I love y'all. Don't make it think like I'm not into this, because I am. All right, let's see about the Strength card now. Tell me more about the Strength card. We have the Six of Cups, Page of Wands, and Justice. Yeah. You're realizing that the reason why you conformed so easily, even though it like goes against everything that you believe, it was probably an inner child wound. You know, we just had that new moon in Sagittarius. Actually, it's today on the 19th when I'm filming this. And I did a reading for that, and there was a lot of inner child energy that was coming up. So I understand if this could be something that's kind of unfolding December 19th around that week. And especially, you know, spending time around family for the holidays and stuff like that. You're just realizing, you know, this has been something I've been doing for a long time, and I'm ready to let that go and speak my truth and be honest. Even though it's hard, it's what's necessary, because it's time for you to really get clear on what makes you happy and go towards that, because it's your life, Sagittarius, and you can't live it for anybody else. And another thing with imagination, I feel like you guys have been reflecting on, like, you know, what makes me happy? What do I see my life in the future? You know, if you close your eyes and envision it, what does that look like? And are you currently on that trajectory? And if not, then what do you need to do to fix that? All right. That's all I have for you, Sagittarius. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to check out your other placements and go to the description box below if you would like to book a service with me, learn more about me, or sign up for the newsletter. Okay? All right, Capricorn, you are up next. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, comment if this resonated. Share it with a friend. And let's see what your overall theme for 2026 will be. Let us know, Spirit, please and thank you. Overall theme for Capricorn for 2026. Please and thank you. All right. We have grief. I understand that losing something is an opportunity to appreciate it. So to me, this is obviously one of the heavier cards, because grief is hard, but like it says, you don't have that grief unless there's that love there, right? And this could mean like someone's passed. This could also be, you know, a relationship ending. This could be losing a job, having to move, you know. There's a million ways this can play out. So let's see. Tell us more about grief for Capricorn, please and thank you. I think the most important thing with grief is to, first of all, feel those feelings, and then allow yourself to, you know, kind of honor what it is that you're missing, that you're sad about. You know, like I went through a breakup I guess I could say last year, well, this year, 2025, right? And it was really sad, but there was still like a lot that I learned. And, you know, I acknowledge, like, I'm grateful to have learned those lessons in such a beautiful way, you know, even though it didn't pan out how I expected, but, you know, it was still beautiful. So that's okay. All right, so let's see about grief. Tell us more about grief for Capricorn, please and thank you. Okay. We have the Lovers, the Four of Wands, Judgment. So this could have to do with a relationship, a marriage, long-term commitment. Ooh, Okay. All right. Well, we do have the King of Wands, King of Cups. So you could be dealing with a fire sign or a water sign. So this could have to do with two separate people in your life, like two important men in your life or people that you look up to. This could have to do with, the King of Wands is like an entrepreneur, a leader. King of Cups is very intuitive and sits with his emotions. So this could be something that you're very passionate about, could be like your own business or work, and something that there's a lot of emotion tied to it. Or this could have to do with, two separate people. Okay, with the Six of Cups, the World card, it feels like there's like a big chapter in your life that's coming to a close. The Six of Cups talks about memories, nostalgia, childhood. So with the World card, something's coming full circle in regards to that. So maybe this has something to do with a sibling or, some sort of childhood memory or something. Like this could almost be like maybe your parents decide to sell your childhood home kind of thing. But ending with the Nine of Swords, this is definitely not going to be an easy thing to process for you. Again, like if you need to cry, cry. If you need to yell, shout, punch something, punch a pillow, right? We're not punching drywalls. Let's get it together. But, allow that emotion to come out, but know that you don't have to wallow in it. So you can be sad and then allow yourself to get up and do something or honor this situation in some way. All right, well let's start it out. Okay, tell me more about, I don't even know if I want to read them together or okay, King of Wands, King of Cups. Tell me more and then we'll maybe pull cards for them individually. Okay, we have the Nine of Pentacles and the Moon card. Okay, so this is something that is impacting your security, your independence. Maybe this is something that is making you question your security and your independence and your success. It feels like there's a lot of doubt and fear in regards to your own capabilities for some reason. Yeah, it's like you've been working really hard on something, but now you're kind of looking at it differently. Okay, tell me more about the King of Wands. We have the Three of Wands and the Six of Pentacles. This is a weird situation. Let's see. Seven of Swords, King of Pentacles. There could be some sort of like a relationship ending in regards to someone that was maybe a mentor or someone that would give you financial help. It's okay. So it feels like maybe somebody like died or something. Or we also have the Seven of Swords, the King of Pentacles. Maybe you realize you couldn't trust someone. And now you're really having to like bet on yourself with something. And you're trying to see like, can I do this? Do I have what it takes? There's a lot of going back and forth, but I feel like you need to bet on yourself. You need to believe in yourself. Yeah, it's like it feels like there's been a major shift, a major passing or ending, and that's kind of forced you to believe in your own ability to be abundant all on your own. Okay, tell me more about the King of Cups. We have the Star. The Star has come out a lot for everyone, which is cool. The Star, the Nine of Cups. Okay, both of these are like soul level fulfillment, feeling very happy, feeling like you have everything you desire. We have the Seven of Pentacles and the Two of Pentacles. Okay. I mean, okay, this is what it feels like. It feels like you have big goals. You have your eye on the prize. And maybe there's been someone helping you, mentoring you, someone you've been looking up to, but for some reason you can't go to them anymore. So now you're really trying to figure out, okay, if I still want to be on this path, what do I need to invest in? What do I need to focus on? Like whatever happened here, it's really causing you to have complete faith in yourself, which is beautiful, but it's also very hard, especially when it's like someone's ripped from you. And it's like that, especially like this makes me think of like a dad passing away. It's like that was your rock. That was the person that, kept it all together. And now that this person's not here, what are we doing? What do we do? All right, tell me more about the Six of Pentacles. Yeah, the Two of Swords, the Nine of Wands. So yeah, this has been a very difficult time. It's been very painful. But you gotta go forward. At the end of the day, know that you have a strong foundation. There's going to be some difficulties, some obstacles, but you can overcome it. Yeah, this is something like this ending, however it's going through, it's leading you to a lot of new beginnings, new opportunities, new ways of seeing things. And it's promoting you to explore and really bet on yourself. Okay. All right, we have the Six of Cups with the World card. So let's see about that. All right, we have the Ace of Pentacles, Ten of Swords, the Devil, the Queen of Cups. Okay. This is so weird. So obviously something has come to an end with the Ten of Swords. The Devil, there could have been some illusions going on here. Like maybe you thought someone or something was one way, but now all of this is coming to the surface and you're realizing it's not that. And, you're making the most of the situation by asking yourself, okay, what's my next step? What do I invest in? That's beautiful, but also make sure you're giving yourself time to really feel that energy. So that way, say you get another investor or something and you're not looking at them sideways like you can't trust them, All right, tell me more about the Ten of Swords, the Devil. I mean, yeah, the Magician. Overall, whatever's going on here, because it's not super specific, there's a million of you, so it could be different scenarios, right? But this is essentially something that is getting you to really believe in yourself and use all of your resources to your advantage. This is something that gets you to really start taking something seriously. You're going to have success with it, whatever it is. All right, tell me more about the Queen of Cups, Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, it's like you're turning lemons into lemonade here. And you have peace with something, you have accepted something. Doesn't make it easy, but you're just like, okay, it is what it is, like what am I going to do? I can't change this. So I have to accept it. I have to use this to my advantage. And you're doing that by really investing in yourself and really making yourself step up. We have the Fool, the Four of Cups. So, of course, this isn't the best situation, but, you're taking it as best as you can. And just, it's something that's really getting you to, trust in yourself, of course, but also the universe. See, and we have patience. I accept that everything happens in divine order, and we also do have death. I'm learning that endings are merely beginnings. So again, there does not have to be a literal death in your family or with someone close to you, but there is going to be some sort of ending, some sort of shift. that really makes you believe in yourself and the divine and the universe. So again, unfortunate how things like this have to come up, but if life lessons were comfortable, half the time, probably more than half the time, we wouldn't go through with them, because it's through discomfort that we finally break out of something, you know? So let's see about this Nine of Swords. Let's see about what we're nervous about. Okay. See, all of these came out upright. So, or not, well, they are, I don't read reversals, but face up is what I meant. So I feel like you have to be very open about your grieving process and what you need. Don't feel like you have to figure this all out by yourself, okay? If you need a shoulder to cry on, find one, you know? Message me if you need to. Like, shoot, I don't want you dealing with this by yourself. Okay, so let's talk about it. All right, Nine of Swords. We have the Death card, the Four of Wands, Ace of Cups. So, yeah, I mean, this is very uncomfortable, but I have to be real with you guys. Like, I do think someone that is very close to you, someone that matters a lot to you, may pass away. And by the way, I have 4 Capricorn placements myself, so I'm really not wanting this to be the situation, but there's some sort of ending with someone that matters a lot to you, someone that's close to you. And I don't want this to be the case, but I can't lie about what the cards are giving us, you know? And we have the Wheel of Fortune, the Five of Swords. Ugh, this is horrible, because it makes me nervous. Like, I don't want that. But again, like, we cannot control that. That's one thing we certainly cannot control. With the Wheel of Fortune, the Five of Swords, I feel like your response to this is to just keep doing you, keep focusing on yourself. And that may come off as selfish to other people, but we all handle grief and endings in our own ways, you know? So we just have to, embrace that and give everyone grace for how they need to show up. Tell me more about the Ace of Cups, Four of Wands, the Death card. We have the Eight of Pentacles, the Page of Wands. Yeah, I just feel like, what helps you get through this is working, focusing on yourself, growth. And this could mean a few different things, like there could be somebody, because we also have the Seven of Swords that keeps popping up. So it's like there could have been someone that's being shady. There could have been someone that was hurtful towards you, a toxic connection, or someone passing away. So hopefully it's not someone passing away. That's all I have to say about it. But moral of the story, this person going away, in whatever way that happens, is what you need to really get focused and believe in yourself. So difficult, but necessary. All right, Capricorn, that's all I have for you. Hopefully, I'll keep you guys updated with what goes on in my life next year. So hopefully this is kind of more of a gentler story as it unfolds. But, I treat this like I'm a lawyer or a doctor or like a therapist. Like, I can't lie to you, even if it's uncomfortable. So it is what it is. But sending you guys all the love. And if you want more from me, signing up for the newsletter, booking a service, social media, whatever, all of that is down below on my website, and the links to the social media is down there too. All right. Thank you, Capricorn. See you next time. Aquarius. All right. How y'all doing? All right. We're going to see what messages Spirit has for you for 2026. Spirit, what is Aquarius's overall theme for 2026? Please and thank you. I love my fellow Aquarians. Every time I say that, it makes me think of my fellow Americans. All right, let's see what we got going on for y'all. All right, Spirit, overall theme for Aquarius for 2026. Please and thank you. Ooh. We have trust. I accept that my inner voice will always guide me correctly. Beautiful. Listening to your intuition, trusting spirit, trusting your higher self. I know I've been working on that a lot this year, so that's really cool to see that coming to fruition. Now, this can also mean that there can be delays, some obstacles, things like that to test your trust. Or maybe you're just listening to your inner voice more. Maybe a little bit of both. Let's see, though. Let's see what's going on. Leo also has this for their overall theme, so that might be something that you watch, or maybe you have some Leo in your chart or have a Leo surrounding you. All right, let's get some guidance for Aquarius Spirit, please, and thank you. Let's see. All right, tell us more about trust. Okay. All right, we have the King of Pentacles, Three of Wands, Queen of Cups, the Magician, and the Five of Wands. So let's see here. With the King of Pentacles, there could be some sort of new investment, maybe, growing your business, growing your career, focusing on finances. This can also be feeling a lot more secure and stable as well. But with the Three of Wands, Queen of Cups, I feel like these go together. There could be some time next year where you're reflecting on like, okay, what's next? Maybe you're feeling very accomplished, very proud of yourself, and you're wanting to grow that more and more. So maybe you're just thinking about, okay, where's my heart telling me to go? What's next for me? Kind of analyzing the situation. All right, with the Magician, this is Master Manifestor energy. You're doing your thing out here, okay? Feeling powerful, feeling connected to the universe, knowing how to use your resources, use your skills to the best of your advantage, And then the Five of Wands, some sort of conflict, arguing, people moving in the ego. So interesting shift there at the end. But let's see. It looks like you're making a big decision to walk away from something to go towards something that is more in alignment for you. So let's see. Okay, tell us more about the King of Pentacles for Aquarius. All right, we have the Lovers. Okay. Okay. The Two of Cups is here, Queen of Swords. Okay, you are being very stern here. You're not playing with somebody. Okay. I'm hearing, don't mistake my kindness for weakness. Okay. All right, Aquarius. Let's see what's going on. I had to lean all the way back for this. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So the King of Pentacles with the Lovers could be dealing with an Earth sign, a Gemini. We also have Capricorn, fire energy here as well. So here's the dill pickle. Yeah, I feel like you had to walk away from a connection because it was just too draining for you. Here's the thing, like with you as the King of Pentacles, because I feel like that's you for some reason. You are very much like a provider, a protector. You're very smart. You're very responsible. And I think a lot of people go to you for guidance, or, if you were in a relationship with someone who was maybe more impulsive, then they let you step up to the plate without them stepping up to the plate. Okay. Yeah, it feels like there was an imbalance of give and take here. All right. Okay, with the Devil, Temperance, Seven of Cups, Three of Pentacles. Yeah, it just feels like this was not a very solid connection. It feels like this was, I don't know, it's like an energy of someone who was like, well, Aquarius will figure it out. Aquarius always has the answers. Aquarius will take care of that. And you got tired of that. Like that's what it feels like. But, when the tables turned, it was like, well, I know this person's not going to do that. Like, I'm not even going to ask. Mm-mm. So then I think it had you really reflecting on, like, okay, so what do I want out of a connection, out of friendship? What does teamwork look like for me? What does relying on someone look like for me? You want balance. You want balance. You want peace. See, the thing is, like, love is not enough for you. You are love. Everyone's love. So great, bring love, but don't also bring chaos. Don't also bring more for my to-do list. You know what I mean? That's what it felt like. Because the thing is, you didn't become this responsible, this mature, this stable and secure just to take care of somebody else that wasn't going to be that. So it made you reflect on what it is you need out of a connection, out of friendship. Okay. All right. So Queen of Cups, Three of Wands. Let's see what that's about. Okay, so we're ready for a new journey, a new horizon, and really reflecting on your heart if that's what you want or what that looks like for you. Okay, yeah, I'm hearing like you want a soft life. You want to chill, like you don't want to feel like you have to be putting in all the work and working overtime to make some sort of connection make sense. You want someone who's going to take care of you. I was at my friend's house the other day. She's married, and her husband was saying, like, I have the belief that I should retire the person that I'm with, that I'm going to retire my wife. And I was like, I know that's right. And it doesn't matter if you're, male, female, non-binary, none of that matters. But it's just like the energy of like, I want a partner, or I want someone to be able to take care of me. And I ended up in a situation where I'm using all my skills and my resources to take care of somebody else. I don't have any kids. That's what I'm hearing. Okay. Yeah, we have the King of Swords, Ace of Cups, the Empress. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So this situation really helped you come to the conclusion, helped you see the truth about yourself, in meaning that like you need a safe space for your heart. You want to have a soft life. You want to relax and just attract everything you need. You don't want to feel like you're having to work overtime, prove yourself, chase. You're not going to sit here and beg someone to treat you how you're supposed to be treated. So instead of trying to drive yourself crazy with that, you're trusting your inner self. You're allowing these situations to show you what you need to learn about yourself and then moving accordingly. You're not wasting no time. You're not repeating cycles. I know that's right. Not repeating cycles. Yeah. You had to walk away from this because you realized, ooh, this is not what I actually want. So let me take this lesson and go towards what it is that I do want. Cool. Cool. All right, let's see about the Magician here. So, I mean, yeah, I feel like you're manifesting the things that you want, especially like manifestation does not have to be that hard. You know what I mean? It's about recognizing what is it that you do want and then move like it's already there. So instead of trying to force something to be something that you want whenever you already know it's not, just accept that and then keep it moving, right? Tell me more about the Magician. I like what I'm seeing. I'm going to be honest. Yes, we have the Nine of Cups, the Five of Swords. Listen, at the end of the day, I feel like you're someone who has a lot of goals, has a lot that they're working towards. And at the end of the day, you're not going to get yourself distracted, okay? Unless someone's coming to you with some real stuff, you're not going to put in so much energy towards them. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Okay, we have the High Priestess. Yeah. I just see you really trusting your intuition here. Yeah. I don't care about all that noise over there. But yeah, you're putting yourself first, because I feel like you recognize, you know, when I don't put myself first, it can get very exhausting. And who's got the time for that? All right, tell me more about the Five of Wands for Aquarius, please and thank you. All right, Two of Swords, Four of Pentacles, Eight of Pentacles, the High Priestess, the Eight of Swords. Okay. There's somebody talking. I don't know what's going on. See, now I'm hearing like Everybody Talks by Neon Trees. See, this is what I think. I think that you're going to be living your life how you want to live it, and there's going to be people that have a problem with it. Because that's what happens. You know, when you start setting boundaries, when you start moving different, and you stop accepting like the bare minimum or less than that, then people start acting like, what's wrong with Aquarius? What's wrong with you? You know what I mean? Because here's the dill pickle. You're very motivated. You're very focused. Okay, especially showing up as the King of Pentacles, like you're taking care of business right now. Okay, so you know, anyone distracting you, whether that be other people or your own negative thinking, no, we're not doing that. We're not playing with that today. And that's why you're allowing your inner voice, your intuition, your faith in the divine, you're letting that guide you rather than listening to what other people say, rather than listening to your negative thoughts or your negative emotions. You know, sometimes your brain will try to convince you not to do something and be like, but we're tired, but we don't feel like it, but we're in a bad mood. Listen, you can sit with that bad mood for a moment, and then we're going to get up and handle it. Okay? Consistency is key. Whether that means showing up for 10 minutes or for a whole hour, just show up. I feel like you're going to have a lot of success next year, but I think that it's going to come at the cost of certain relationships or certain ways of showing up. And that may cause certain people to feel a certain type of way. But again, it's not your job to make everyone comfortable, especially with your own life decisions. Like if people don't like it, they don't have to live that life. They're not. So just like, who cares? You know what I mean? So yeah, judgment and peace. You're like, you know, everyone gets to have their own life, their own path, and I make peace with that. And I'm going to follow my path and trust my intuition the whole way. Love it. Okay. That is your 2026 prediction, Aquarius. Again, if you would like to book your own personal reading for 2026 predictions, go down to the description box below, go to my website, and it'll be under soul services there for you. Thank you for watching. Alrighty, last but not least, we have Pisces. So let's see what's going on for you. And don't forget to check out your other placements. Like, comment, share this reading, subscribe to my channel. You know the deal. All right, Spirit, let's get some messages for Pisces to see what their overall theme will be for 2026. Please and thank you. Tell me more, tell me more. Maybe you guys like Grease. Don't know why that's popping in my head. Okay, we have guilt. I release any beliefs that no longer assist in my soul's growth. Beautiful. Love that. Okay. Yes. Not letting the past, not letting others' expectations, not letting your own inner voice that's questioning or doubting you, not letting anything stop you anymore. All right, let's get some more details about this. I like that. And what's cool about that, it's like you're not letting yourself feel guilty anymore. Like I feel like that's been common in your readings in the past, where it's like, you know, other people's opinions, their needs, their expectations of you had you move in a certain type of way for a while, but not anymore. That's what I like to see. All right. So let's see about it. Let's see what we got going on. All right. Tell me more about guilt for Pisces, please and thank you. Okay. 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 I'm getting excited. I'm getting excited. Y'all have the most cards, I think, that have come out this whole time. Cool. See, we have surrender. I release my need to control, health, worry. Yeah, you realize that, like, you cannot worry about what other people think, how other people are going to be impacted, or the story they're going to tell themselves about you. That is impacting your health, mentally, physically, emotionally. And listen, they can accept it or they can get lost. I'm sorry. But it's like you're really setting boundaries with people. I feel it. Okay, let's talk about it. So we have the Five of Pentacles starting us out. So yeah, absolutely. There are going to be people that feel rejected by you. You're going to feel bad for them feeling that way. But again, everybody's grown here. You know what I mean? Everybody's grown. So if they can't handle this feeling, it's not your responsibility to like modify your approach or your life, you know? And if, say, you're doing something wrong and you're being mean to these people, okay, they need to leave you alone. Not saying that it's right to be mean to people, but if someone was being mean to me, hey, I'm not going to sit and wallow about it. We're not going to be in contact anymore. And that's that, you know? But we have the Sun, the Ten of Pentacles. I know that's right. You're focusing on your abundance, your generational wealth. Some of you have kids and you're like, listen, I got to worry about these kids, not these grown-ass adults. You know what I mean? And with the Sun, like, this is all about happiness, clarity, going towards your joy and your fulfillment. I'm not worrying about these people, you know? That's what it feels like. All right, we got the Page of Swords. So yeah, you're ready for new ideas, new ways of thinking. Yes, you're shifting your perspective here because it's not your job to worry about other people's feelings and things like that. Like, obviously, I'm not saying walk around here and be mean to everybody. Obviously not. But if someone is more sensitive or someone, if you living your life to the fullest and doing what makes you happy offends someone else, they need to have bigger problems then. You know what I mean? Like, that's so weird. We have the King of Cups and the Moon card. So there is a level of maybe doubt or fear, questioning yourself. And again, that's normal, especially whenever you live a life people pleasing. You know what I mean? So don't let that derail you too long. And it's also with the King of Cups, I feel like you're going to be sitting with this feeling and exploring it, understanding it, figuring out the root of it, rather than going backwards and being like, okay, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. You know what I mean? But I like it, King of Swords, because you went from the page to the king. So you're really knowing like, okay, this is what works for me, this doesn't. No one has to co-sign this for me to continue on this path. And that's the most important thing. All right, we have the Two of Swords, the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so it is time for a new chapter, a new cycle. There may be a part of you that's blocking this or second guessing it, right? We all have an ego, we all have a brain, and that's their job to be scared of things that we've never done before. That's how they keep us safe, but it's not actually keeping us safe, it's keeping us stagnant. So that's why we don't listen to it. And we sit with it and explore it to heal it and integrate it. Okay? But yeah, this blockage can also be, you know, maybe the people around you who aren't wanting you to grow. This can also be some sort of like hiccups or obstacles. You know, maybe someone else has this feeling about you and spirit wants to know, like, are you gonna fold? Right? Because they'll send you little lessons just to see. Because it's like, do you really want this? Because if you do, prove it to me, you know? All right. Let's see about this Five of Pentacles. Tell me more about that. Okay. See, you're in a situation where, you know, these people meant a lot to you with the Lovers here. This could literally be a romantic partner, family, friends, whoever. It's someone that there's a close emotional bond with. And with the Four of Pentacles, this is something that you've really held on to for a long time. And somebody that, you know, you didn't want to have to grow without them or give up on them. You really did not want to have to do that. But you did, and you had to with the Hermit, you know, like you had to go within and really reflect. And you see how like uncomfortable this person is, these people are in this storm, in this reflection moment. But here you are on top of the mountain, comforted with your isolation. There are some people who cannot be by themselves. And those people tend to not want to be by themselves because, you know, you got to sit and really be with yourself and reflect on the way you're showing up and reflect on, you know, the things that don't work for you that do work for you. And some people don't want to do that. Some people would rather have the noise of someone always being there and the joy of having that companionship. Being alone is beautiful. Okay. I love being on my own. It's my favorite thing. Love living alone, spending time by myself. I love it. Even when I was little, I would just play by myself. And I have 6 siblings. Well, I have 7, but in the home, there were 6. So yeah, I get the importance of being on your own. And the thing is, you need this alone time to really reflect on, you know, what makes you happy? What do you want to go towards? You know, tuning into your intuition. Forever having someone around is keeping you from doing that. And I think you know the importance of connecting to it. So now it's not an option anymore to delay that. All right, fierce. Let's see about the Sun and the 10 of Pentacles. So lots of clarity. Ready for, okay. Let me just, yeah. This makes me sad, honestly. So you could be seeing a lot of 5s next year, and 5 is all about transformation and change. So know that it is very natural for you to second guess it, to be uncomfortable in it. And it's natural for other people to have that response. But what we're not going to do is let our discomfort keep us stagnant. No. Okay. So we have the 2 of Cups, the 5 of Cups, the 5 of Wands. So yeah, obviously this is someone or a group of people, whatever, that you really were close with them. You really felt connected to them, felt seen. But as soon as you start growing and focusing on success and generational wealth and your happiness, now all of a sudden everybody's got a problem. But when you were being stagnant or, you know, not moving at your highest potential, nobody had anything to say. That's fake to me. Listen, who needs enemies when you have friends like that? That's how I feel about it. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you, Pisces, because you know that's some BS. You know, like you're going towards the things that make you happy and getting clear on what you want to invest in. And now everybody's got an issue. Kick rocks. I'm not into that. No way, Jose. No, you should never sacrifice your success, your stability, your growth, your happiness for anyone ever. I will never co-sign that. Because anyone that truly loves you would want you to be happy, would want you to be successful. You know, like say my sister, you know, she loves the medical field and all that stuff. So, you know, say she decided to do Doctors Without Borders and, you know, traveled all over the world. I would miss her so much. But there's no way in hell I would tell her, don't go, I'm going to miss you. No, absolutely not. Because I love that girl. And I want her to do whatever she wants with her life. And I will support her the whole way. Not distract her, not create drama surrounding it. You got a bunch of haters surrounding you, Pisces. Get it together. Absolutely not. And then they got you thinking you're the problem? No. Okay. Tell me more about the Page of Swords. All right, we have the Ace of Pentacles and the Tower. All right, I don't know why I'm being so childish. But listen, so yeah, there's like a big ending that happens probably with this friendship or whoever this is. But that is what leads you to your opportunity. Okay, let me tell you guys something. I had a friendship breakup. Who hasn't, right? I had one like, I don't know, 4 years ago or something. And it was like as soon as I cleared myself from that person, all these opportunities started coming my way for my business. You know what I mean? So sometimes know this, that Spirit's not going to bless you if you have the wrong people around you. Because why would they do that? Just for it to be sabotaged by some bugaboo? Absolutely not. So, and the thing is, like, you're very, I feel like Pisces is very empathetic because you guys understand the emotional realm and the inner world. And you don't want people to feel, maybe how you have felt previously, or, you can feel how someone feels and you don't want to put that on somebody. But you're sitting here sacrificing opportunities and blessings, and I'm not having that. Sorry. Unacceptable. Yeah. Anything else for this tower here? And I love that it came out with the Ace of Pentacles because it's like, you know what? They said, don't worry about the tower because look, you got the Ace of Wands. And then there's the Seven of Wands too. So it's definitely a situation where it feels like everyone kind of ganged up on you, or you felt like you kept having to defend yourself or prove yourself. So cut it. We're done with that. And look, you have all new opportunities that are surrounded by stability, security, passion, excitement, high energy. You got things to do, so you can't be distracted by these people. Sorry, you can't. All right, King of Cups with the Moon. So there could be some doubt creeping in for you, or this could also be you reflecting on like the illusion that this connection was. I think my phone might be dying or something. I don't know. We'll have to see. All right, tell me more about the King of Cups, the Moon. I'm going to try to get through this faster then. I did not expect my phone to be near death, but it's all right. All right, we have the Nine of Cups, the Four of Cups, and the Eight of Pentacles. Yeah, so yeah, there's going to be new opportunities where you're investing in things, working really hard, focusing. And yeah, like you don't have time for distractions. You don't have time for silliness. Okay, Pisces, my phone died, so I had to charge it, and my mic connects to the charging port. So we're not using a mic right now. We're just going to finish up your reading like this. Hopefully you don't mind. Okay, so where we were at, the Four of Cups, I feel like this is representing, the situation sucks, but you're making the most out of it by focusing on yourself, on your business, on thriving, okay? And that's exactly what you should do. When people are trying to play with you, just focus on yourself. Don't give them your energy, your attention, your time. Just let it be what it is and keep it moving, okay? King of Swords. You're standing on business. You're not playing with these people. You know what works for you, and that's that. And they can either get with it or not. You're not going to force anybody, but they're also not going to force you. Okay? So let's see more about this King of Swords. All right, we have the Three of Wands, the Hierophant, the Eight of Wands, the Six of Swords. Yeah, it's like they sent a message and you got the message. You're not going to try to make them see things your way. You're not going to try to convince them. You're just going to get up and go. And that's exactly what you did, because the old Pisces, she can't come to the phone right now because she's dead. I don't listen to Taylor Swift like that, but that's exactly what's going on in this moment. And the thing is, people may be used to you showing up a certain way. This especially could be family, but you're ready to change things up and you're ready to go towards a new horizon and focus on you and your growth. See, yeah, you know what works for you and you're running towards whatever that is, okay? Yeah, certain things ended, but it is what it is. And there could be a part of you that's questioning it. overthinking it, but don't, because again, you cannot adjust your life and your goals to keep other people happy. You just can't. All right, so we have the Wheel of Fortune, the Two of Swords, ready for a new chapter. There could be, again, a part of you that may be rejecting it, or maybe there are other people that are making it hard for you. So let's see. Two of Swords, Wheel of Fortune. Move with clarity, because this ended for a reason. So don't be nervous about how your family takes it. They may think you're selfish, but surrender that, because you are standing on business. You got things to bring to fruition, and you're powerful and you're successful. So don't let these people get you down. Okay? We have the Four of Wands with the Ten of Wands. Yeah. You might feel a lot of like an obligation to your family, to these people. But at the end of the day, you can't let what they're used to keep you from growing. You just can't. All right, so that's your reading, Pisces. Thanks for watching. And again, if you would like to book a personal $26 personal reading for your own 2026 themes, go down to the description box below. Go to my website, Soul Services. It's all there for you to check out. All right, hope you guys have a beautiful 2026. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.